All right, y'all, we are live. We are live on this beautiful Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I pray you and your family are super blessed as Bitcoin is pumped, baby. Look at this pump, massive pump. All right, I mean, it actually is a pretty massive pump, especially if we go down to the 1 minute time frame, man. Would you look at this pump we got on the 1 minute here? It made that noise too. I heard that noise, man. Sounding great, sounded amazing, and as usual, if we can get 1,000 likes within the first half hour of the stream, we will be giving away $1,000. If we can hit our target of $116,000 during the stream, man, I'm just going to give away $1,000 for the heck of it, honestly. If Bitcoin hits 160, if we hit $118,000 in the stream, I'm going to give away $1,500 just for the heck of it, man. Because I'm excited. When I get excited, I just throw money at you guys, my loyal followers and subscribers and likers of my MySpace page. Make sure to click the dang like button. We have 541,000 people in the house right now, baby. Let's see if we can't get the likes up to the watchers right away. Why am I jumping? I'm not, well, I guess, I don't know. I got so much energy in me, man. I got so much energy, man. I'm already 4,000 calories deep and it's only 1 p.m., baby. All right, let's see. We got the energy today, man. Whew, I'm feeling it. Look, I'm that guy, guys. I'm that guy right now. That 35-year-old white man with the backwards to the side baseball cap. That guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy right now. Now look. Shout out to Preparing for War. He says we're going to nail 116. Preparing for War, man. God bless you, bro. It's good to see you here, my man. Guys, of course, we have to give a major shout out to Blowfin, because Blowfin, guys, is gonna be giving away $500 today during this stream. So we have, this is a day of giveaways, baby. Look, we pay you to play at the Jason Casper YouTube channel. All right, because Blowfin's giving away $500. I'm trying to give away $1,000 if we can get 1,000 likes. If we smash into 116,000 today, I'm gonna give away $1,000 just for the heck of it. And if we smash into 118,000, where my next take profit is on the long trade, we're gonna give away $1,500 just for sniffs and wiggles. Just for sniffs and wiggles. Okay? Now, we got to give a shout to Blowfin. If you sign up to Blowfin using my link, you're eligible to the giveaway. You don't have to deposit anything. Alright? All you got to do is get your dang user ID number. Alright? Right over here. Get that thing ready, and they'll airdrop you the $100. Alright? We also have to give a major shout out to KSEX, the best exchange, because of the low fees, man. I'm actually really digging the KSEX right now. Also, we got to shout out WEEX, low fees. And look, if you know how to trade, but you have no money, we got to shout out Klein funding, because in the description of this video, there are 25 and 15% discount coupon codes for these funded accounts. You only have 30 bucks and you want to trade with 6,000? Well, go ahead use the link in the description and you can get it. You get yourself an account here. Instant Pro, you don't have to pass the challenge. 15% discount. All right. Now, Bitcoin is starting to pump, baby. All right, we are starting to pump. And, yeah, let's see who we got in the chat. Shout out to Andrew Cameron. Shout out to 9 December. Shout out to Evan. He says, enough talk. Enough about the charts. Let's talk potatoes. We might, guys. I feel like it's going to be a long stream today. You guys feeling that feeling? You feeling that? Because I'm feeling that, man. Shout out to Artie. How many pickles did I pick today? Man, I'll tell you, Artie, the cucumbers are large, girthy, prickly, and abundant. Praise the Lord for the cucumber harvest, man. It is insane. I don't even know what to do with all the cucumbers. And they are big. They're massive. I've never seen such long cucumbers before. Okay? Man, it's a good year for the cucumbers. Shout out to Crypto Casino by Kasra. Shout out to HFG. God bless you, my man. Shout out to Rakia Zafar. Can we please get signals? Can we please get signals? Look, I don't give signals, okay? In the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we don't give signals, all right? Yesterday, when I told everyone I took the long from the 786 and I gave it at 11 a.m., which just so happened to be the exact low of the move at 11 a.m., this is not a signal. I even said this is not a signal. This is just what I am doing. Alright? In the Casper crew, it's not a signal. It's just what I'm doing, right? In the Casper crew, when we give the setup from $100,000 and say I'm long, it's not a signal, okay? It's just what I'm doing. When we took the long trade in the Casper crew from $105,000, and I told everyone I'm long, again, this is not a signal. In the Casper crew VIP Discord at JasonCasperTrading.com, the best community in the world. Click the link to join. It's not a signal, guys, okay? I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm an idiot on the treadmill. Don't follow me. Don't follow me. I don't know what I'm doing. All right? Just because we gave the dang setup in advance from 100 and whatever that was. What was that? 112. All right? Gave the setup in advance from the low, baby. From the low. Look at these juicy entries. You know, but they're not signals, okay? Shout out to the Casper crew. Shout out to the Casper crew. Man, oh man, I'm so excited. Because I really do think that we are going to see Bitcoin smash through some new levels. Alright, smash through some new levels. Shout out to Sergeant Squid. He says my man had his garlic today. Man, I had the garlic. I rubbed it on the armpits. How's money flow looking like? We're going to get into it, man. Alright. Look, it's not a signal. It's a not signal. Exactly. It's not a signal. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell y'all what to do. Alright. Exactly. Jason doesn't give signals. Yeah, praise the Lord for the cucumbers. You know, I hate cucumbers. I grow them for my family. They love cucumbers. The only food I don't like, honestly, is cucumbers. Everything else I like. Every other food I could be down with. But the cucumbers, don't like them. But I do eat them. I eat them because we grow them. My wife makes this cucumber salad with the dill and the olive oil and the apple cider vinegar and the salt and the pepper. I eat that, all right? I eat that. Shout out to Yo Brando. Shout out to RV. Shout out to CT Sterlings. We'll Doge Pump. We'll talk about it. Yeah, I'm feeling a long stream today. So is Rimo Trades is feeling a long stream as well. Made potatoes yesterday just because of you. How'd you make potatoes? How do you make potatoes? What are the ingredients in your potatoes? For me, you know how I make potatoes? I take starch. I mix it with dirt and water. And it just poops into a potato. Shout out to Crypto Pappy. Yo. Been a minute. Smash the like. Shout out to Juan Hernandez in the house and Blair Stevenson. Shout out to Abhine Varma and the Flying Barracuda who says yo. Shout out to Man Eyes. Can't wait to hear the pump song. Let's see. Shout out to Mark_3. Yo. Shout out to Fazal. He says, send me money. Well, Fazal, smash the like. Alright, and let's see if we can't get the money, alright? Let's see if we can't get the money, guys. Again, 1,000 likes, and we are going to give away $1,000. We hit 116,000 today during the stream. We'll give away $1,000 no matter what. I'm just feeling in a good mood today, guys. You know, I'm feeling in a good mood. We're walking on the treadmill. We're going fast. We got a weighted vest on. We got a sideways hat. You know, looking like if I saw myself out in the public, I would think, what a douchebag that guy. That's okay. Shout out to our pink. Whatever it is, it's straight, not... I see. Shout out to CC. Let's do this. I'm here for all of it. Casper Crew Life, baby. How to join the Discord from India. Click the link, man. That's all you got to do. Just push the button. Turn them into giant pickles. Oh, my goodness. We got to give a major shout out to Joe Potter in the house. Crypto Stacks uses avocado oil and seasoned them with organic seasoning and roasted them in the oven with asparagus. That's what's good. All right, that's what's good. Yeah, this was good. The fields in Latvia are flooded badly, so a lot of crop and veggies are ruined. I'm so sorry to hear that. Doesn't sound very good. Okay. Alright, here we go, guys. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a pump here. Getting a little bit of a pump here. Alright, here we go. About to pump up to $116,000. As you can see, that is our next area of resistance on the chart, man. I'm feeling it today. Well, not like that. I mean, like this. This is what I'm feeling like today. Alright? I'm feeling like this today, baby. I'm ready to go. I was feeling like this. Now I'm feeling like this. Alright? All right, Crypto Surfer's long and short. So am I. All right, I'm in 2 shorts. I'm in 5 longs or something crazy like that. I don't know. Let's head on over to good old-fashioned trading view here. And let's take a look at the long trade that was given in real time in the Casper Crew VIP Discord yesterday at 11 o'clock in the morning from the exact low of the move. It's doing pretty good, man. It's doing pretty good. Now, we got to talk about this because I do get giddy when I see the charts and I recognize, man, oh man, there's a real chance that we pump. And I'll tell you why there's a real chance we pump, okay? I'm going to give you the bullish scenario. The bullish scenario. I'm going to give you the bullish scenario, and then we'll talk about a bearish scenario. Because look, we come here to be objective, all right? We take ourselves and this YouTube channel extremely seriously. And, you know, the thing is, we gotta be aware of multiple scenarios. But as a crypto YouTuber, when I applied for the job, they said, Jason, you always need to be bullish no matter what. Otherwise, we'll fire you. And I said, all right. So we got to start with the bullish scenario, all right? Just to make the YouTube corporate happy. You know what I'm saying? Now look, here's the deal. And I really am bullish, and I'll tell you why. We are seeing a pattern right now, a rare and delicate pattern, which is this, all right? I want to show you guys the pattern here. The pattern is this. When you are in an uptrend, as we clearly are, the bottom of the downtrend, when we switch from downtrend into uptrend, what is the signal? The signal is this. The price makes a lower low. The oscillator, market cipher beat, makes a deep left momentum wave and a shallow right momentum wave, strangely resembling a pair of uneven butt cheeks, with a fat, juicy left cheek and a skinny old waitress at the diner type right cheek. Now that marks the bottom. Then we get a big move to the upside. Then we come for our first retracement. That first retracement gives us a trigger wave. That trigger wave, we should be able to draw a trend line like this. All right? That marks the higher low. Then we get a higher high. Then we get a higher low. The higher low, this time, the oscillator is going to get lower. And every higher low we make now, the oscillator is going to get lower until eventually these bearish divergences just are too strong and we actually start to lose the trend, all right? It's very important. This is only bullish when we're coming down to a clear trend line and we're seeing other signs on lower time frames, all right? This is a bullish pattern. Now, when we zoom into our low time frame right now, which is, oh man, okay, it's the daily. What happened here on the daily? We got a deep left momentum wave. We had a shallow right momentum wave, strangely resembling a set of uneven butt cheeks with a fat, juicy one on the left, skinny on the right. All right. Then what happened? We got a higher high. Then we came down for our first retrace to $100,000. Look at this. We get a trigger wave here in line with the trend at $100,000, coming down to backtest. Very key support at the Fibonacci golden pocket retracement right into the zone of the long trade setup that the Casper Crew VIP Discord gave well in advance. Would you look at that? Boom, baby, boom, baby, boom! What a juicy entry. Honestly, what a juicy entry. So we got that. Then we got ourselves another higher high. Now this higher high is very important. Why? Well, because this higher high is not just any old higher high, guys. This higher high is breaking out of the range. All right, look at this. We're breaking the range, okay? Now, you could see that we have come down to back test the range high at about $112,000. Now, what we wanted to see and what we were kind of hoping to see was a hidden bullish divergence. We didn't really see that here, okay? We didn't see that. Now, you could cheat. You could say, well, Jay, maybe there's a hidden bullish divergence here because technically, if we take it from the green dots and we connect the green dots, there's a hidden bullish divergence. And you're right, you could cheat that way. So, here's the thing. There is a chance that the low is in here. If the low is not in, it's very probable, in my opinion, that we simply just make a slightly lower low into this zone. Because this zone down here, remember, very, very key support. It was resistance for 8 months, guys, the value area high of this range. And so this will be support, okay? So we're getting a little bit of a bounce right now. We're bouncing right from that level. You know, that level that we gave in the Casper crew. I mean, the exact level we're bouncing from, guys, is this green line right here. Right here. Casper crew VIP Discord. 111,965. Alright? So we're getting a little bit of a bounce from here right now. You can see we're getting a little bit of a bounce right here, right now. What needs to happen in order for this to give us a big pump? Well, here's the first thing that needs to happen. We need to reclaim $116,000. Why is $116,000 so key right now? I'll tell you why. It's because it's the support resistance flip. All right. If we zoom into a lower time frame here and we see what's happening now locally, we can see that 116,000 is support. Actually, it's resistance, support, 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 resistance. All right. Once we come back above this level, guys, we have done something called a bullish deviation of the range. That basically means a big old fake out. A big old fake out. And once you come back inside that range, the chances are very high that we actually start to pump. Now look at this. Do you see how we have this trend line here? We could even take it back to here. We have a trend line here where basically we have these lower highs, right? We have these lower highs. This is called a descending triangle. Chances of breaking down are quite high. We did get a breakdown. What Bitcoin loves to do often is form a pattern and then fake out the pattern and then actually do the opposite. So every single time we make a high and then a lower 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 high. What do you think people are doing? They're shorting and they're putting their stop losses, their stop losses, their stop losses, their stop losses, their stop losses. What this means is if we break out of this trend line, we're going to start hitting stop losses. Now, a short that has its stop loss hit in the order book, that's a buy order, right? When your stop loss gets hit, it's a buy order, right? You guys know the feeling, right? You take a short trade, think you caught the exact top. You know, you go out to play with the kids on the trampoline for a little bit. Put the phone in your pocket, having a good time, jumping around. Kids are having fun. Next thing you know, you get an alert. You look at your phone. Buy order filled? I didn't buy Bitcoin. I just shorted the exact top. I'm probably up millions right now. You go, you look at the dang position, guess what? Stopped out. It was their stop loss that got triggered. Now that was a buy order in the buy book. On the Bybit buy book. Now a buy order pushed the price to the upside. So when you get stop losses, those are actually going to push price up. All right, it's called the short squeeze. It's called a short squeeze. We see it happen all the time. Short squeeze. We could very easily squeeze back up towards $121,000 very easily, guys. All right. So that's why I'm getting excited here, because there is a chance that the low is in. And yesterday, we did see something quite interesting as well. All right, let's take a quick look here. If we zoom in and what we saw the past few days over the weekend. First of all, over the weekend, we formed a nice bottom. How did we form a nice bottom? Well, we actually came down, we tapped the support resistance flip. Let's go back to the time that we made that high. Over yonder. It's hard to do, guys. Look, I told you, this ain't no financial advice. Here we go. All right, so look at this. We have the support resistance flip, right, from the high of the range. We came down on a Saturday evening. On a Sunday. Wait, on a Saturday. Man, and we came down on a Saturday. All right, we tapped it once. Then what happens is we come up and then we come back down and we take that low again. All right, that is a very nice bottom. It's a double bottom. The second low was lower than the first, and we're printing some pretty nice bullish divergences on the chart here. In fact, if we just take a look at the 2-hour time frame, you can see that as the price is getting lower, as we tap that level, we are seeing a double drive of bullish divergence. We go to our 24-minute. As we tap the low, we are seeing multiple drive of bullish divergence, right? Now, this is beautiful right here. Look at what's happening as the price is getting lower. All right, we are seeing multiple drive of bullish divergence, right? We're seeing a nice uneven butt cheek pattern right here, looking like this. And then we get this next third butt cheek here, the tricheecular formation. All right, tricheeculars are the pro trader secret, all right? Even ICT didn't teach you about that, all right? You sat through 97 months of pure live stream of ICT, where most of the time he was telling you about how he's telling you what no one else is going to tell you for free, and you watched it all right? But he didn't tell you about the tricheecular formation. We got the good old deep wave, the shallow wave, and then the really shallow wave as we take that low again, all right? This is called a tricheecular chickens drinking water pattern. Marks a very nice bottom, and then we get the move. As we get into weekly open, we get this first move to the upside. Now look at what happens yesterday. It was looking weak, all right? It was looking pretty bad. We come up here, we start to roll over, lower low, lower high, big drop, but where do we land? We land at none other than the zone between the golden pocket and the 786. What does this mean? It means we're bouncing from the area where the higher low, if we're going to continue up, is to be expected, right? This is why in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we gave the long setup from the golden pocket and the 786, all right? Setup given in advance on Monday, August 4th at 9:30 in the morning from between the golden pocket and the 786. And of course, at 11 a.m., I longed the 786. I let the community know. And of course, I was patient and I longed it pretty much from the bottom, guys. All right, I've obviously added to the position since then. All right, I've hit my TP1. I've added to the position now from this low from this morning. But what I'm trying to say is we are seeing that we formed a nice bottom with bullish divergences, and then we come and we make a higher low into the 786 with bullish divergences. Look at this, another tricheecular formation on the 24-hour time frame. All right, now these are two bullish signs at support. Remember, this ain't no arbitrary support. This is literally the support resistance flip from an 8-month range. All right, it's not arbitrary. It's a very key level. Then we change the structure. We make a higher high. We come down. We make a higher low with bullish divergences into key support. And we're starting to get our bounce again, which means it's very probable, in my estimation, that we come up to $116,000. All right, it's very probable in my estimation that we come up to 116. Now remember, 116. Look at what we have here. Remember, we have this right now. Again, stop losses for shorts, waiting to get stop out. Once we come above 116, not only do we have the stop losses for the shorts there, but we will come back inside of the old range. And once we do, it's very likely we come back to test the bottom of the trend line. And once we do that, short squeeze, baby. We could get a really fast, big short squeeze back up towards $121,000. Now, if we come up to $121,000, that means that we are officially now above the value area high of the range, which means if we can hold above this blue line, we are going to 130,000. All right, so this is the bullish scenario. All right, they're all if-then scenarios. Am I saying it's guaranteed? No, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but what I'm saying is right now we've seen two bullish things at this support resistance flip, and we had all day yesterday to dump, but we didn't do it. We had all morning to dump, but we didn't do it. All right, we had all Monday to dump, but we didn't do it. And so now, if we can come back above $116,000, We will be back inside the range, and then in my estimation, the probabilities are highest that we come back towards 121,000, stop maybe at 118, point of control for a little rest stop, just so everyone can pee, you know? Everyone can pee. If you're healthy like me, you go in there and look at their beef jerky in the gas station. Do they have any Archer grass-fed beef jerky? No soy, no MSG? No, they don't have any as usual. All right, you don't buy anything, right? You'd rather fast than eat that junk food. Your other friends, just normal Americans, come out with their candy bars and their sodas and their chips. All right? You say, you know what? I'd rather just not eat, man. When I get to where I gotta go, I'm sure there'll be a supermarket somewhere. All right? I'll get myself some fruit. I'll get myself some Greek yogurt. I'll get myself some vegetables. It'll be all good. All right? And then after we stop at the gas station for a little pee break, a little snack break, boom! We blast off into the stratosphere. All right? This is the bull scenario. Now, again, I just want to make it clear here. We are building a narrative. We are building a narrative here. We're not just being bullish for no reason. And, again, I want to be honest and say this. I'm doing this analysis now in hindsight. But remember, both of these lows here, the one from 112 and the one from 113, were two levels given in advance in the Casper crew. All right, so we gave the setup from that key support resistance flip. We were ready and waiting. All right, we don't just mess around, right? We gave the setup in advance. Trade is taken. All right, yesterday from the exact low of the move, $113,000. Okay, I've taken the long. All right, so we're doing this in real time in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. It's not just hindsight analysis. Now that the moves have happened and we've locked in the profits, we got to do hindsight analysis to do forward analysis. Okay, and the forward analysis is this. A reclaim of 116,000, a daily close above 116,000 is extremely bullish. Extremely. Based on everything considered, the daily bottoming out, the 4-hour bullish divergence at support, the 24-minute bullish divergence at support, and then we get a higher high, and then we get a higher low with more bullish divergence. This is crazy, actually, when you think about it. Bullish divergence and bullish divergence throughout the entirety, money flow getting higher. Looks pretty good to me. All right, looks pretty good. Is there a chance that we reject? Yes. Let's talk about a bearish scenario. All right, let's talk about a bearish scenario. We gotta. Now, what do we need to really keep in mind here? As we're coming to $116,000, obviously it's resistance, guys. Why is it resistance? Well, it's because it's the value area low of this range. All right, we take all this price action. This is the value area low, around 116.5. So we've got ourselves a box of resistance right around here, which, if we cannot reclaim, like we just said, if we reclaim, it's extremely bullish because the market is now telling us, indeed, we want to trade Bitcoin at higher prices. But what if the market says, heck no? You know, what used to be considered cheap Bitcoin, we now consider expensive Bitcoin, so we're going to take profits. This is what we need to be aware of. Now we're coming to the 618 Fibonacci. What do we know about the 618 Fibonacci? 618, Juanita, our high school crush, had massive feelings for this woman back in the day. Thought to myself I would ask her out. Maybe we could go steady. Maybe we could date through high school, date through college, get married after that, buy a house when we could afford a down payment, both work our butts off so we could finally pay it off when we were old, have a nice pool, maybe a golden retriever, a couple of kids, a white picket fence around the yard, have a little vegetable garden in the back, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a nice dogwood tree out front with the flowers looking nice in the springtime. Turns out when I asked her on a date, I was in something known as the friend zone. All right, she said, Jay, I do like you, but not like that. Broke my dang heart. And we got the rejection right from the 618. Now, why did we get the rejection? Let's look at the bigger picture. As you can see, Sam Bankman-Fried is here with his crooked upside-down man boobs. And 618 isn't into nice guys like Jason Casper who want to work hard for a living. They're into criminals who go to the Bahamas and steal people's money to do meth. And so as I was asking her out, she was really looking not at me, but she was looking straight at SBF over here. And she's very attracted to what he's got going on the chest. All right, it's a strange workout plan you got to do to get this. Decline, left side only, dumbbell pressing. Many reps, high volume, high intensity, high rep. All right? You got to grow that left side only. It drives those girls wild, man. I'll tell you. I mean, look at her face and the desire in her eyes. Now, this is colloquially known as a bearish divergence. All right? The medical term in the New England Journal of Medicine is gynecomasticus crooked. But colloquially, you know, the local hometown people call it the uneven man boob pattern. Bearish divergence. What is a bearish divergence, you ask? Well, it's basically the opposite of a bullish divergence, right? A bullish divergence is the butt cheek on the left is big, juicy. The butt cheek on the right is small and skinny, like the waitress at the diner. But a bearish divergence is the opposite of that. Sometimes this girl gets so excited hanging out at the club late at night that she'll just start hanging upside down from the rafters. All right? Now, when you see this, you know the party's about to be over. So, what do we need to watch for here? Well, we need to be watching for this. We need to be making sure that as the price is getting higher, into that key resistance that we're not seeing this. All right? What we saw here is what we don't want to see up here. All right? Now, I'm thankful that we saw it here and that we didn't hit that level. If we had seen that at the level, it could have spelled game over for our bullish scenario. But because we front ran that level, that means there's a really high chance now when we come up here, we're going to blast right through. And what is the upside down sandbag free man boob pattern characterized by? Well, the money flow and the momentum waves on market cipher B getting lower over time. All right, let's just look at this in the past. You can see the resemblance is quite striking. Red pepperoni nipples getting much lower as the price is getting much higher. The money flow getting much lower as the price is getting higher. Look at the money flow coming down here. All right. Right now, I have to say this. It looks pretty good. Money flow thickening. Momentum waves still good. All right. So we still have, it's looking good. It's looking powerful. It's looking pumpy. It's looking like we're going to hit 116,000 smackaronis y quesos. And yeah, even if we get a little scalp in here, this is resistance. All right. It definitely is resistance, man. But man, if we come up here, we hold, we are pumping. But if we reject, then the chances are very high that we actually make a lower low. In fact, I will say this. If we see a rejection from this green box, I expect a lower low to happen on Bitcoin. Because this is showing us, I mean, when we think about the whole scenario and everything that we've been looking at, right? What is this actually showing us? It's actually showing us that we tried to get a fake out. We tried to get acceptance back to the range, but failed. That's called a bearish backtest, in which case we would expect to move back down to test, once again, the zone of support, which we have over here on this range that we traded for 8 months. Now, remember, that's probably going to be around 109 to 110,000, all right? Now, you guys have been watching this channel for a long time. The whole time we were up here, what were we saying? We were saying, in the event of retracement, the major level to be aware of is going to be 112 to 109,000. Now, we've come to the top part of this. We're getting a little bit of a bounce. Now is the time to test. Is this really the low or not? We reject from 116. I'd say probabilities are highest. It's not. We come back into the box. This is what I would be looking for now. This would allow us now to get a hidden bullish dip on the daily. This would allow us to get that juicy continuation pattern that looks much nicer than it does right now. This would allow people to get wrecked out of their positions. A nice flush before the pump. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like a nice flush before the pump. You guys who lift weights know what I mean. All right? If you're a morning weightlifter like myself, there's nothing like a nice flush before the pump. You know what I'm talking about. You wake up, you chug a cup of coffee. All right? Actually, I wake up and I drink half a gallon of water immediately. Then I chug a cup of coffee. 10 to 12 ounces of coffee. Immediately. I must run to evacuate my bowels. Now, after I do so, I feel great. And as soon as I flush that toilet, I'm ready for the pump in the gym, baby. All right? You guys know, when you wake up in the morning and you're a morning defecator and you can't go that day, it's just the worst day. Toxins up in your body, making you feel irritable, all right? So honestly, I feel like Bitcoin didn't poop that morning. When we came down to bounce from 112,000, I just feel like Bitcoin didn't take a poo that morning. Maybe it did take a poo, just didn't feel fully evacuated. All right? I'm trying to be delicate with my language here. So if we do get another move down, get a dump, and a flush, I'm thinking that could be the big one. That could be the big one. The big one that clogs the toilet. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the plunger? Where's the plunger? Oh no, I left it at my trading desk. Where's the plunger? I left it at my trading desk. You're opening the door. Calling to your wife. Wife, help! I'm up to my knees in toilet water. Oh my goodness. So embarrassing. That happened to me once at my friend's mom's house. You know what I'm saying? The worst. Now, let's see. Bitcoin getting a move. All right, let's pop on over to our good old trades here. Let's look at order flow. All right, we're getting the pump, baby. All right. Here we go. We're getting the pump. We're getting the pump. We are getting the pump. Shout out to Tales from the Crypto. Word, JC, watching for that sweep of the lows. Absolutely. Absolutely. Check the weekly time frame. All right, let's check the weekly time frame. Look, if all this TA stuff sounds like a whole bunch of jumbled up nonsense to you, here's what you got to do. Go to the Jason Casper YouTube channel. Go to videos and watch the free course. 100% free course. All right? And check out, what are you going to check out? You're going to check out this one. Indicators. Right here, indicators. Divergence Masterclass. How and when to enter a trade to nail perfect entries. Check out these 4 videos, actually. And you'll understand everything there is to know about divergences, man. Free trading course, 18 sessions. For free. For free. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. In fact, we only have 500 likes, we have 1,200 viewers, and we missed our chance to do our $1,000 giveaway. But here's the thing, we're still going to do a Blowfin giveaway today. If you sign up to Blowfin using the link in the pinned comment, in the chat, and in the description, if you get your user ID on Blowfin, all right, and you go ahead and you copy and paste that, we're going to do a raffle where 5 people are going to get $100 airdropped, courtesy of Blowfin. Also, if Bitcoin can reclaim this yellow line, we're going to give away $1,000 no matter what. And if we hit this take profit, I'm giving away $1,500 no matter what. We got a take profit at 118. That's the POC of the range. All right. In fact, I better lower this a little bit because you know how Blowfin likes to front run. You know how Blowfin likes to front run, man. You know, got to give a shout out to Blowfin, but they like to front run. All right. So we better lower that a little bit. We're trying to front run. All right. Here we go, baby. We are pumping. All right. We're pumping. All right. Took a little short scalp here based on the 5-second time frame. Let's see if it's about to get stopped out here. It will get stopped out in profete. If it does get stopped out in profete. All right. Took a loss this morning. Took a pretty chunky loss this morning, actually. A 1% loss, basically. Honestly, guys, this has been good to me. I've been trading on KSEX. I've been trading on KSEX now for about 3 weeks. I started on July 15th on KSEX. All right, July 15th. Started with 10 grand in the account. I've made about 60% on the account in 3 weeks. I'm thinking I'm going to start trading with more capital on here. You know, I'm just testing it out, put a little bit of money in here. I have to say, I really like the exchange. All right? I really do like the exchange. So let's see. We're trying to hit that that juicy TP. All right, let's see. Juicy TP at 118,000 smackerels. What am I wearing? A bulletproof vest? Why am I wearing it? I'll tell you why. Art. I'll tell you why. You guys want to really know why I'm wearing a bulletproof vest? I'll tell you why. Because I like to always be lean and jacked like this. I also love to eat food. Lots. 5,000 calories a day. All right? I'm just a fat guy at heart, man. I love food. I love food. And you know what? If you have an office job and you walk during the office job, guess what? It's so easy to walk. It doesn't make you tired. It energizes you. It makes you feel good. All right? But it allows you to just eat whatever you want and stay jacked and lean all the time. All right? That's why I do it, man. I gotta be honest. It makes me feel good. It makes me look good. It gives me energy. It gives me mental focus. And the way to vest is just because, I don't know. I mean, think about it. You get to trick your body into thinking you weigh more than you do. Right? You can go for shorter walks. Build strength in the legs. Build strength in the bones. In the tendons, the joints. Feeling strong, baby. You know what I'm saying? I know it's crazy, but it's true. Why don't I train my chicken legs? Because the only muscles that matter in life are chest, biceps, and front delts. That's it. Okay, looks like we just made a slightly lower high there. Let's see what happens. Let's check the order flow quickly. Let's check the order flow quickly. Alright, so this whole move up is very interesting. We've seen a decrease of open interest, but primarily we have seen shorts opening up only and longs closing. So actually, believe it or not, we actually have some trapped shorts here right now. We have some trapped shorts, I guess including my own. But this is Bybit, not KSEX. But this whole move so far has really just been longs taking profit. So this pump, we stopped here mostly because longs have taken profit, guys. We saw some bullish CBD, looks like, forming around here earlier this morning. And then longs have taken profit, and rightfully so. Because that was, I'll tell you, that was a scary trade yesterday. This trade was a scary one, all right? Because when I took that trade, man, it took 9 hours to hit our take profit one. I thought it was going to happen in a few minutes. We didn't hit that take profit one until like 8 p.m. that night. So it was a scary trade. So I understand why people are taking profits. I mean, we stayed down here forever. You know? I mean, look at this. This is the, I don't know what time frame. I think this might be the half-hour time frame. So you're talking 1, 2, 3 hours. Price didn't move. You know, even though we had the bullish cheeks. So here we go, baby. I think we're about to pump. I think we're about to hit our next level. It's about to be 2 p.m. All right, make sure to smash the likes. We're hitting the value area high in Coinbase. Don't short support, says Spartan. Shout out to chest and arms only. That's what's up. I'm only joking. Here's the thing, guys. I'm only joking. I train legs twice a week right now. Right now, my workout split is this. Upper, lower, upper, full. Upper, lower, upper, full. It's basically upper, lower, lower. But my second lower body day, I do 1 set of seated barbell military press and 2 sets of lateral raises. My shoulders are always jacked. I've had jacked shoulders since I was a kid for no reason. So I just like do a little shoulders on my second leg day. But legs are very important. All right, leg day numero uno for me. Barbell back squats, leg presses, Romanian deadlifts, glute thrusts, and of course calves. Then leg day number 2 for me is single leg, Romanian deadlifts, 1 set of single leg presses, single leg Romanian deadlifts, some good old glute thrusting, and of course you got to do your calves in there as well. All right, so 1 leg day is like mostly barbell stuff. The second leg day is like single leg work. So you got to train your legs, guys. If you have back problems, if you have knee problems, if you have hip problems, if you have ankle problems, train your legs and train them right. Learn how to squat full range of motion. Work on your mobility, and you will solve your pain issues. I used to have a horrible back. I used to have a horrible left knee. And now, I feel better now. I'm going to be 35 on Friday. I feel way better now in my mid-30s than I did in my early 20s because of getting strong lower body, strong butt, strong legs, the muscles around the knees, you know? So, don't neglect your health, guys. Health is wealth. That's what they say. And I have to agree. All right, health is wealth, and I have to agree. Bitcoin price, here we go. Let's see. Let's pop on back to the order flow chart here. We're going to take a look at Ethereum. We're going to take a look at some other stuff. All right, we're going to take a look at some other stuff. Shout out to everyone wishing me a happy birthday, man. I have to be honest, I don't like turning 35. It makes me feel very old, I'll be honest. I've always liked being young. Now I'm old. You know? Okay, yeah, it looks like we just need some buyers to come in. We just need some buyers to come in. This is consolidation before pump in my estimation. Consolidation before pump in my estimation. Look at the 24-minute market cipher. She clearly says, we're not done yet. All right. Let's check out ETH. How's ETH doing? Man. Okay, so here's the deal with ETH. Now remember, we're reading ETH. Oh wait, I told HFG we're going to look at the weekly on Bitcoin. Okay, elephant in the room, guys. Weekly confirmed red dot. All right, weekly confirmed red dot. El Punto Rojo, the Mexican gangster. His job is to smuggle the candles down below the northern border. All right, El Punto Rojo has just confirmed his ugly head here on the weekly, and not only El Punto Rojo is working with Sam Bankman-Fried. Right? They're both together. They're smuggling drugs from over resistance into the Bahamas to do meth with their friends. We got the upside down Sam Bankman-Fried bearish man boot pattern. And it just so turns out that Sam Bankman-Fried's right nipple is El Punto Rojo. Can you imagine? Sam Bankman-Fried, you see him chilling there on the beach. You look straight into his right nipple and you see this looking right back at you. Hello, mi amigo. Si, senor. I am Sam Bankman-Fried's right nipple, El Punto Rojo. You better watch out for me because I'm going to dump the price speedier than Speedy Gonzalez, my friend. Okay? Now, yes, this is clearly a bearish sign. But look, this is not the first time that we have seen this. Okay? We saw this back in June. Confirmed El Punto Rojo, Sam Bankman-Fried. But what happened? What happened in June that saved us? It was the green dot on market cipher B. El Punto Verde, right? The other Mexican gangster. The arch nemesis of El Punto Rojo. And clearly you can tell something about El Punto Verde. He is in much better cardiovascular health than El Punto Rojo. Because El Punto Rojo sits there at the charts all day. El Punto Verde has a treadmill at the charts. Alright? And so El Punto Verde can outrun El Punto Rojo. And that's exactly what happened over here. Now, here's the deal. What were we looking for last time, right? Last time when we got El Punto Rojo, we wanted to see the continuation pattern on market cipher B. The uptrend continuation pattern, okay? Now, same thing. Potentially, this is it. I'd say I'm 80, let's say 70, I'm 70% sure this is a continuation pattern. The lower the time frame, the sloppier the confirmations, right? Even if we reject from here and come down lower, all right, that would allow us to get even deeper of a momentum wave, which then would give us that nice hidden bullish divergence, a very bullish continuation pattern in a very bullish uptrend on the back test of a major breakout, okay? So until we lose our box, I just can't take El Punto Rojo too seriously. We lose this box, all of a sudden, El Punto Rojo, I'm sorry, El Punto Verde, he ain't coming to save you no more, all right? El Punto Rojo, he's in charge, all right? Just do what he says, all right? If you want to be all right, do what El Punto Rojo says. Don't be talking about El Punto Verde. All right, but until we lose that box, we got plenty of time. Now let's check out Ethereum. Now look at this, guys. Look at Ethereum on the daily. Well, by golly, George. My goodness. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Man, when I see this, I get more excited, more endorphin rush, more adrenaline than the time I was running away from the cops. They were trying to pull me over. I was trading and driving. Swing failure pattern on the 5-second. Look at that purple candle coming down. Hurry up, I said. Give me my phone, I said to my wife in the passenger seat. I gotta get into a short. She said, what's your password? What's my password? Crap. Tell her the password. She opens up the phone. Now what? Just give me the dang phone. Now I'm trading. I'm driving on the phone. Cops see me on the side of the road. They pull out, turn on their siren. Wee woo, wee woo. Now the adrenaline's really pumping. I can't even look at the road. I'm looking at the screen. I'm looking at the charts. Oh my goodness, I say. Oh my goodness, hurry up, I need to get into the short trade. Meanwhile, I'm driving on the wrong side of the highway. Cars are trying to avoid me like crazy. Bitcoin's pumping up right now. Oh my goodness, Bitcoin's crossing 115.4. Let's go back to Bitcoin. The cops are chasing me. Bitcoin's pumping. We're getting another move to the upside. Consolidation and then pump. Looks like I got stopped out of that short trade. Looks like I got stopped out of the short trade for a $1,700 profit. Oh my goodness. That is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. Alright, we got stopped out of the short trade. Still, we're up a juicy $1,700 profit. Okay. We are back. Back in action. Bitcoin's pumping, baby. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Oh my goodness, we are pumping. Oh my goodness, guys. We're running from the cops and we're pumping. We're running from the cops and we're pumping. This is crazy. Look at this pump right now on Bitcoin. Would you even look at the pump on Bitcoin? Would you look at the pump on Bitcoin, guys? This is crazy. This is nuts. This is crazy. This is nuts, man. Wow. All right. Wow. Okay. All right. All right. Relax, Jason. Okay, here we go, baby. We got to take a look at Ethereum, but we've got to watch and see what happens as Bitcoin comes to this next level. All right, as Bitcoin comes to the next level, I think we can do it now, even. You guys think we can do it now? I think maybe we could do it now. Should we do it now? Should we do it now? I think we should do it now. All right, guys, let's do it now. Let's pump it up. Let's pump it up. Here we go, baby. About to pump Bitcoin straight to our next take profit. We're going to do a giveaway. When we get there, we're doing a giveaway. No matter what. Alright, we're doing a giveaway. Here we go, baby. Let's pump it straight up. This is the pump song. Guaranteed to pump the Bitcoin price every single time. Sometimes it has delayed effect. This one's in honor of you, El Punto Verde. El Punto Verde. Let's pump. Alright, guys. Here we go. We're gonna hit our target. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. Let's go. Here we go, baby. Yeah. Yo. Here we go. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. Here we go, baby. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. Yo. Here we go. Let's 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 go. I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling it. You guys feeling it too? No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. We're gonna dump. We're gonna dump. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pump. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. It's working. This is why we do what we do, guys. This is why we do what we do. Oh my. It's working, guys. It's working. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. It's working. Look at that massive pump. Where's the stop loss? There is no stop loss. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, baby, let's hit that target and give away $1,000. We're gonna dump. No, we're gonna pop. We're gonna dump.
no we're gonna pump. We gonna dump, no we're gonna pump. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. We gonna dump, we gonna dump, we gonna dump. Pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. Yeah. We'll pump a Bitcoin, baby. Yeah, we'll pump a Bitcoin, baby. Yeah, we'll pump a Bitcoin. Yeah, we'll pump a Bitcoin. Yeah, we gonna dump. Yeah, we're gonna pump. Yeah, we gonna dump. Now we're gonna pump, right?
Okay. Whew. It worked. A little bit. I think we can we keep going? What do you guys think? Can we keep going? Let's see. I think we can, actually. I think we can keep pumping it. I think we can keep pumping it. Alright? Hey, yo. J. Casper, and you know we don't play, cause we're coming to the treadmill just to take the trade from the setup that we gave yesterday in the Casper Crew VIP Discord AA. I give it to you straight, you know I never give it gay. Outside, and you know I'm digging with the spade. So dang hungry, and I'm eating from the trade. Coming to the top, and that's how we like to stay. Then we rock it, can you sock it to the top? It next thing you know, we're pumping to the next golden pocket. Then we drop it like a hot potato in your hand. Bitcoin going all across the land, from the sand, to the east, to the west. What's the Bitcoin price about to do next? Going to the gym, I only train arms and chest. Everything else is just second best. Coming back to K-Sex, what's the Bitcoin price gonna do next? Let me check it with the reflex, cause the candles turning purple, then they turning blue. The Bitcoin price about to show you what she is about to do. Then we come back over to Blowfin, pumping up, then we about to get it in. Make sure click the link in the description for a chance, $100 you will win. That's right, about to do the giveaway on Blowfin, giving away $500 just today. All you gotta do is click the link. You don't have to deposit your whole kitchen sink. Don't have to do nothing, just click. Then the $100 comes in so quick. Then you take a trade, 100x leverage. Bitcoin about to go to beverage. Yeah, we drinking every day. Got Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and you know we don't play just the same. Cause my name is Master J, coming to the charts just to get paid. And oh snap, can you even spot it? About to get a bounce from the golden pocket. Next thing you know, the Bitcoin starts to rocket. Candles only turning blue, and you know we don't drop it. If you're a bear, better be scared. So embarrassed in your underwear, sitting in the chair over there. I can see you, and I know that you're so scared. Next thing I know, you better be aware that the bull's in the house, about to pump the price. If you're a bear, it will not be nice. Going downstairs, chicken and rice. Got the broccoli, the bro food, it tastes like ice. Yeah, cause it ain't got no flavor. Bitcoin price bout to pump later on the treadmill. Walking here with the weighted vest. Weigh me down, out of breath in my chest. Am I out of shape? Do you wait like an ape just to frustrate the way we take the trades? And it's late, getting to be about 2 p.m. Bitcoin price between me and them. Wow. Okay. Sheesh, man. So, I don't think we're going to come this far just to drop from here, man. I think we're going to hit the next level. I think we're going to hit it. Look at what TradingView looks like here. Look at what Bybit looks like. Look at Bybit. Hey, yo. Man, take a look real quick. We got a juicy pump up on Bybit. I said, yo, take a look real quick. We got a juicy pump up on Bybit. Now take a look real quick. We got a juicy pump up here on Bybit. Hey yo, take a look real quick. What we got? Hey yo, here we go, TradingView, what do we see? A pump on Bybit just between you and me. I say we pumping up to 116K. Bitcoin bulls about to celebrate, hooray, while the bears, you know, they start to cry. They say, nah, I got something in my eye, but we know the truth, you got wrecked. It happened next, everybody else looking like they wanted to just check on the price. It comes up, it goes down. Bears were smiling, but now they got a frown. Oh my goodness, Jay Casper on the treadmill, walking so slow, is he even going uphill? Stop! All right. We got to give a major shout out to our super chats. First of all, shout out to Travis Bird. How dress your potatoes? Butter, salt, pepper? Usually salt. I mean, potatoes have a lot of potassium. If you sweat a lot, make sure to salt your spuds. All right, potassium and sodium. Sea salt, all right? None of that table salt stuff, all right? Butter sometimes if I need extra fat for that day. I usually try and keep it under 130 grams of fat a day. Shout out to Dr. D. ETH, talk to me, baby. Let's give a major shout out to Dr. D. All right. Speaking of Dr. D, make sure to smash up the likes, guys. Make sure to smash up the likes. All right, let's check out ETH. Now, what do we know about ETH? I'd say this, guys. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's all I can keep saying. Look at this. Look at this. All right. Now, I've been very bullish on ETH for a long time. You guys know that I've been very bullish on ETH for a long time. I don't have to go through why I've been so dang bullish on ETH since we were around $1,500. Okay? Look at this. Monthly candle has just closed above the trend line. Now, again, I'm analyzing ETH through the lens of Bitcoin. And I've given you my bullish analysis for Bitcoin and why I'm bullish on Bitcoin. Okay? We've closed the monthly candle above the trend line. Now we've gotten a dip down, and we are coming back up. All right, this is known as a breakout and a back test. And right now what we're seeing, this consolidation here, in my opinion, this bull flag, is simply that, a breakout and a back test of this major 4-year trend line. All right, we had ourselves the tip. November 2021, resistance, fake out. Now, this is why I'm so bullish. You have yourself a fake out of the highs. You have yourself a massive fake out of the lows. All right. Now we're reclaiming the trend line. We get a breakout, a back test. All right. Now we're breaking out of the trend line. A breakout, a back test. Now, it's very probable that we come up to $4,000, the value area high. It's very, very probable, as long as we're holding above 3,300. Excuse me. As long as we're holding above 3,300, the most probable is that we come up to 4,000. When that happens, it will be a confirmed breakout of a 4-year resistance with a juicy confirmed trigger wave below the 0 line on the monthly. In my opinion, this has not played out yet. Look at the yellow oscillator. Still pointing upwards. Look at the momentum wave peeking out from behind the yellow oscillator here. You guys see that? That is not a bearish sign, right? That is a very bullish sign, let me tell you. So and look at the daily right now. Look at the daily. Look at the tight trigger wave. Look at the yellow oscillator. Look at the money flow. Look at the 2-day. Oh my goodness, guys. Look at the 2-day. This is insane. This is insane on the 2-day. This is insane. This is going to be crazy. When we get this green dot on the 2-day, man, when this yellow thing comes up, we get a nice green dot coming in here. It is going to be crazy. Look at that thick money flow. Look at that thick money flow. The money flow on Market Cypher is the leading indicator. All right. The dots are the lagging indicator. All right. It looks really bullish. Worst case scenario is this. Bitcoin goes for its low again. Goes back down to test 109-ish. ETH goes for the low again. Goes back to test 3,300-ish. For a double bottom on both assets, and I think we can get a pump because these high time frames do look extremely bullish to me. And remember, Bitcoin, although the weekly is printing a red dot, I think the daily giving us that continuation pattern is the juicier thing here. All right, is the juicier. Oh, shout out to Andy from Bitcoin Census. He says Pepecoin. All right. Do I drink well water? Yeah, of course. Of course I drink well water. I'm off grid, man. I'm off grid. Right now, this whole live stream is being powered by Tesla batteries. Isn't that crazy? This live stream right now is no joke being powered by Tesla batteries. Actually, probably not. It's probably being powered by actual sunshine right now. It was cloudy out earlier, and there wasn't enough sunlight to power the whole house. But, you know. You know. All right, Andy from Bitcoin Census. He wants to take a look at Pepecoin. How about we long now? You do what you want. Look, if you take a trade, you better have a dang plan for it. You better have a stop loss, a target, a reason to enter, and a good risk to reward ratio. You do what you want. All right? And if you don't know what you're doing, I highly recommend you go check out Jason Casper on YouTube. He has a free course. All right? He has a totally free course, 100% free, on his YouTube channel. All right? Totally free course on his YouTube channel. Go check it out. 18 sessions for free, baby. All right? From start to finish, 18 sessions for free. All right? A free trading course. Taught by yours truly. I mean, look at this, man. Who wouldn't want to learn from this guy? I mean, this is the real deal right here. Looking like a true YouTube trading guru. With that hair. I cut off the hair, but I saved it. I've got it. All right, let's take a look at Pepe. From my man Andy from Bitcoin Census. I do hold some Pepe. I haven't looked at it in quite a while. By the way, guys, if you're not subscribed to Andy from Bitcoin Census, go subscribe, all right? One of the best traders on YouTube. A diamond in the rough of all these YouTube TA guys. This is the market cap. Let's take a look at Pepe USDT. Andy from Bitcoin Census, one of the best. You will not be disappointed, all right? He doesn't give signals. But if you accidentally mistook him as giving signals, they'd make you a lot of money, all right? All right, so we've got ourselves Pepe. Let's do some analysis here. Start on our weekly. So we got our big pump. I got heavily into Pepe in December 2023. Simply because we broke the trend line. Or I thought we were going to break the trend line. What's funny is, I thought we were going to break the trend line. We ended up dumping a bit before actually pumping. That's okay. I think I was looking at this. Yeah, I was looking at this trend line here. Yeah, this was it. I bought this thinking, all right, here we go. We got the resistance, the dip, and then the pump. So I was a little bit early. That's okay. By the way, I bought this live on stream. I just spent 20 grand, I think. I forget the exact amount. On altcoins during a live stream. It was fun. It was fun during the bear market. So we've got ourselves our sideways range. I would say this about Pepe is we have a very bullish divergence here. We have a hidden bullish divergence here on Market Cypher B. We have the skinny wave, and then the juicier wave as the price is making a higher low. So that this is a bullish div. Technically speaking, you could say we've changed market structure here, right? I don't know if you consider this weekly order block a change in structure, but let's check out the daily. So you know, I have to be honest. I don't necessarily like what I see too much on Pepe. It doesn't have super bullish signals here. I wish it did. I'm not saying it's not going to pump. I actually do think it will pump. But I don't really see any divergences here besides that hidden weekly. And you would like to see daily divergences regular with a hidden weekly. We don't see it. So, I don't know. We're still in the range. We're bouncing from the local golden pocket, so we are holding the support resistance flip here. I just don't see necessarily a good entry right now on Pepe. I mean, objectively speaking, the money flow is getting thicker here. We don't see bearish divergences. We're obviously seeing consolidation. When the hidden weekly bull div here, as we're consolidating, means the probabilities are we break out of this, right? The probabilities are high that we break out. I just wish I saw something that got me giddy as a dang schoolgirl, and I don't really. But I acknowledge the fact that Pepe is most likely going to pump. Alright? It's most likely going to pump. Oh, crap. Oh, no. Red candle on Bitcoin. Oh, no. Crap! Alright. Alright. Crap. Dang it. Alright, guys. Give me 1 second. I have to go pee, alright? When I come back, we'll do other stuff. We'll look at other coins while we wait for Bitcoin to hit our target. Remember, we're going to give away $500 at least, courtesy of Blowfin. If we smash into 116,000, we'll give away $1,000. Bear with me. In fact, yeah, just bear with me. Alright, we're back, y'all. We are back. Alright, we back, baby. We back. Alright, let's see what we got. Who we got in the chat? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Andy from Bitcoin Census. I know Elliott waves backwards. Most people don't. Yeah, Andy from Bitcoin Census is an Elliott wave expert. Alright? You want to hone your Elliott wave skills? Check out Andy. Alright, he really knows his Elliott wave stuff. Shout out to Andy. When did Jason stop using the bottle? Here's the truth, alright? My wife, she cleaned my office and she stole my pee jug, alright? I've been using the same one for years. It smelled horrible. She hates it when I keep the same pee jug for more than a month. It starts to smell so bad. So, you know. Opening a short at 116. I'm interested. I'll have to see what happens as we come up to 116, alright? Shout out to Keeping It Real Since Podcast. She's just pee in a bottle. Yep. Shout out to a beer. What's going on, my bro? Shout out to Dar A. Shout out to AZTV. What's going on? Shout out to HFG. We got Sammy Cup and Handy in the house. I don't know. I see reference to Sammy Cup and Handy. Shout out to our super chats, Dr. D. What about Shib? We'll check out Shib. How about AVAX? Shout out to Cam S. If we have Sam Price in the house, God bless you, Sam. I don't see you in the chat, but obviously, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Crypto Lifer, make sure to subscribe to Crypto Lifer. All right, let's check out our good friend SHIB. I actually hold quite a bit of SHIB. Hope it pumps. All right, so SHIB. Man, it is just doing its thing here. Is this really? Is this really SHIB? Hang on. There we go. This is the SHIB that I like. Alright, so let's just check it out objectively here. SHIB. What do we like about the weekly time frame? Well, as the price is getting lower, we are seeing the momentum waves getting higher, giving us the coveted uneven butt cheek pattern on the weekly time frame. This is a very nice bottom. Then we break out of the falling wedge pattern. Alright? Very bullish. Bullish divergence into a breakout of the falling wedge pattern. Then we take a look at the volume that traded in this lower range. And we're coming back to backtest the key support resistance flip, the high volume node. As we do so, we are seeing more bullish divergences on the weekly. Look at this. Price is getting lower. Momentum waves getting higher. Ever so slight, but nonetheless valid. Alright, nonetheless valid. Even take it from back here. We are seeing continued bullish divergence here on the weekly. Double drive. Alright, so we are seeing some nice bottom signs here as we are forming this. Is this log? Yeah. This falling wedge-ish pattern, okay? Now, I know you're going to say, Jay, come on, getting sloppy with your trend lines. Alright. So I'm sloppy with the trend lines. In general, the fact that we're holding 1138 is nice. It's nice. Let's take this trend line like this. I think this is a more accurate trend line here. This is more accurate because tap, tap, breakout, retest, bounce, fall through, tap, tap. I'd say this is the pattern we're looking at here in general. Yeah, we could see something like this happen. Would not surprise me. We're seeing bullish divergences out the wazoo. Now, here's the thing. I'm not telling you this is going to happen, but I am saying this. If SHIB is going to pump, it looks really good right now. It looks like something I would buy right now. Let's check it out. Look at this. All right, let's just clear this off. If SHIB hits all-time highs, I'm not saying it's gonna. It's already had its day. It is a meme coin, guys. All right, it means it's a joke, okay? But if SHIB does hit an all-time high, all right, this is our risk to reward ratio. All right, it's pretty good. All right. This is giving us enough wiggle room to come down below the low. All right. If we're already low here, this is a really good risk to reward ratio. All right, risking 1 to make 43. We have a bottom with a bull div, a change of structure, a higher low into key support with additional bull div. All right. So SHIB on the chart looks good. Now the question is, are we actually going to see enough money come into this previously played out meme coin to pump it? I don't know. I don't know. I do hold quite a bit of SHIB, just in case. Just in case. I hold a lot of Doge. I hold a lot of Pepe. I hold a lot of SHIB. Those are pretty much my only meme coins, to be honest with you. And I'm not a meme coinologist. I'm primarily a Bitcoin trader. All right? So I am not the one to talk about whether or not SHIB is going to pump. But I am the one to talk about the chart, objectively speaking, does look bullish. All right? Major shout out to my man Cam for the super chat. Let's take a look at AVAX, because I'm super bullish on AVAX. All right? I hold a lot of AVAX. I'm very bullish on it. I'll tell you why. It's a good project, first of all. Second of all, guys, we are at support. All right? We are at support. right now, we have come down to this box of support that has literally been support since 2021. We are seeing multiple drive of bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. We are seeing bullish divergence, change of market structure, higher highs, higher low to back test the support resistance flip into a key fib support. And as we literally are bouncing from support, we are seeing the weekly market cipher B give us additional bullish divergences right here. Okay? So we've literally got a double drive of bull div right in here. Then we come down to our daily. The daily. Bullish divergence at the lows. Very bullish divergence here at this low. Money flow and momentum. Trigger waves, bottoms, money flow starting to cross. It's looking very bullish. I personally think AVAX right now is a good buy. Alright? AVAX is objectively speaking a good buy. Right now, 13 times more upside than downside on AVAX, assuming that our low is in at $12. Even if we come all the way down to 33 cents, all right, there's still 5 times more upside than downside. All right, objectively speaking here, AVAX is a good buy. All right, if you're bullish on crypto, that's not Bitcoin, AVAX is a good project. All right, it's got an active ecosystem. And it's a good asset. It's looking super bullish here on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame. We're at support. For me, AVAX is looking juicy. All right, this is not financial advice. Yeah, it's a good spot buy, man. It's a good spot buy. All right, in my opinion, it's a good spot buy. Tales from the crypto. So Phil Quirk says XRP broke out after a 7-year triangle. AVAX is currently doing the same 4-year consolidation. Break out of the triangle within a month. Yeah, I guess you could consider this a triangle too. If you look at it on log and you look at it like this. You know, just like ETH, man. Just like ETH consolidating in a 4-year triangle, right? ETH is consolidating in a 4-year triangle. It had the fake out, now it's breaking out of the 4-year triangle. AVAX is still at the bottom. Alright, so that's what I like about the VAX. Alright? The VAX. Gotta get your VAX, baby. You know? So yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Isn't this funny? Even this is 5 times more upside than downside. Right? So, assuming that this low is already in here, we've got 13 times more upside than downside. Assuming the low was in 2023, we've got 8 times more upside than downside. Even if we come all the way down, below all this, guys, we've literally got 5 times more upside than downside. Coming on down all the way to 30 cents. I mean, literally all-time lows, still more upside than downside on AVAX. You know? Shout out to Divine Hood. He bought AVAX around 18. That's what's up, man. That is what is up. That was a good price to get in. What about Link? Chainlink? I'm bullish on Link. I hold a lot of Link. So here's what I think about Link. I'd say that we are at key support right now, just like AVAX. This is our support. You know, we have the consolidation in 2020, 2021, then it's support, then it's resistance all through the bear market. We break out, make a higher low at support, higher high, make a higher low once again at support. Backtesting the 886 Fibonacci, which is very key for altcoins. As we see the 886 Fibonacci getting our bounce, we are seeing trigger waves, right? We have bullish divergence, change of structure, trigger waves forming. I think it looks pretty good. And just based on the risk to reward ratio, again, assuming our low is in here, and assuming all-time highs, there's 5 times more upside than downside. All right, assuming even we come down to the bottom of the bear market, there's 3 times more upside than downside. getting in right now on Chainlink. Assuming a new all-time high, you know, let's say we come up to a $70 Chainlink, which I think is pretty reasonable, right? With a stop loss below the bear market bottom, there's still 4.5 times more upside than downside. With a stop below our current low, there's 8 times more upside than downside. Objectively speaking, this is a good buy if you're bullish on altcoins. You know, top 20 altcoins that aren't Bitcoin. I know right now there's a big debate out there if altcoins are dead forever now, and it's just Bitcoin only and whatever gets an ETF. You know, some people are like, it's just Bitcoin only and whatever is going to get an ETF is going to pump. Everything else is dead right now. You know, for me, I'm not going to say I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, but I guess I kind of am, in the sense that what I really care about is getting more Bitcoin. And the altcoins that I hold mostly are speculative investments. I'm not banking on them, so to speak, except for ETH. And I'll be honest, Chainlink I am banking on a little bit right now. But you gotta know if you want to get into assets like Chainlink and stuff. For me, I think Chainlink is a good project. The World Economic Forum loves it. All right, if they love it, then I'm sure lots of other people will love it too, and we'll use it to connect all the blockchains together so we can all live inside our digital surveillance state without any national borders soon, right? So yeah, I'm bullish on Chainlink, and I think objectively speaking, the chart looks pretty bullish as well. You know, alt season is dead forever, Bitcoin and ETH only. This is what a lot of people believe. Where do I see ETH tonight, Prasad? You know, it's hard to say, bro. I'm not a predictor, I'm a preparer, all right? I'm not a predictor, I am a preparer. That's how I roll, all right? That's how I roll. You prepare for things, right? You don't predict, you prepare. We prepare for the trade. When it happens, we take the trade. We prepare for the trade. When it happens, take the trade. Don't predict. I didn't know this was going to happen, but I'm prepared. So when it happens, I know what to do. All right? Prepared. So when it happens, I know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Prepare for the dang trade so that when it happens, we know what to do. We could say it could go up, could go down. These are my options. I don't care what happens because no matter what, I have a trade potentially. When one of my setups happens with my confirmations, I take a trade. I've got a reason. I've got a target. I've got a stop loss. That's how you're going to make the money in the markets. All right. You're not going to predict. You're going to prepare. All right. Don't predict. Prepare. All right. We've got the screenshot of the trade entry setup given in advance from the low. All right. Prepare. You prepare. That's what you got to do. Now, Bitcoin getting a little bit of a move to the downside here. Change of market structure on the 1 minute. Not what we like to see. Not what we like to see. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on, baby. We need another pump. We need another pump. Cardano, Jake the Beard. What's going on, GTB? Let's take a look at Cardano. Look, I'm a big fan of Cardan. I am a big fan of Cardan. Here's what I think about Cardan. Shout out to Preparing For. He says, I can't wait to get my food cube from the drawer that comes out of the wall. Maybe they'll open the door and I can see outside today and work. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to that too, bro. So look, I gotta be honest and say, this is still my game plan for Cardan. We got a massive cup and handle. We are getting a breakout and a back test right now of major support resistance flip. I think right now for Cardano, we have massive upside potential, a $5 target right now, 45 times more upside than downside, assuming that the local low is in. If the local low is not in, we're still talking over 10 times more upside than downside. 9 times, I'm sorry, 9 times. If we're going to hit a $5 Cardano. Objectively speaking, I think this is a pretty good spot buy right now. A very solid project. Undervalued like crazy right now, in my opinion. We're seeing all the bullish signs. Bullish divergences at support. Change of structure. Back test of key support resistance flip. Another higher high. Forming a bullish pattern as we come down and bounce from key fib support. Alright, breaking out of this falling wedge pattern. Coming for a back test. Shooting for a $5 target of the cup and handle. A 17-to-1 risk reward right now, depending on how you want to set this up. I'd say it's a really good asset to get into even now. Even now. Alright, not financial advice, but I do hold a lot of Cardano. We got a Sammy cup and handy on Cardano. Do I smoke Cardanos? Si, senor. I smoke Cardanos. Alright, Dogecoin. Yeah, let me take off this weighted vest, guys. I've been walking here for an hour and 40 minutes with 40 pounds, and I want to take it off real quick. Hang on. All right, so let's see here. All right, so Tales from the Crypto, he says, JC, all price projections look aligned with a Bitcoin that goes for 150K minimum on Bitcoin, in my opinion. I think 500K on Bitcoin is very possible still. Really? Wow. Yeah, look, I really think that we are going to see a move in crypto that is going to surprise a lot of people that think altcoins are dead. All right. I think the fall is going to really knock the socks off of you. All right, I think the fall is really going to knock the socks off of you. Don't forget to smack the like button. Shout out to Flat Smack. God bless you. Shout out to AZTV. Yeah. 40-pound-aronis. What about XRP? Let's take a look at XRP. Where is XRP? Ah. Alright, so here's the deal. XRP clearly has bearish divergences here, but the money flow looks really good. I would say, you know, we're coming towards the support resistance backtest. So if Bitcoin and ETH are going to make a lower low, we would expect XRP to come and test $2.65 at the value area high. Let's go ahead and pull a fib here. Oh, wow. Yeah, so the golden pocket is literally lining up perfectly with our zone, our value area high, our box here. So yeah, if this isn't the bottom, I would expect us to come dip into the box for a bounce there. We've obviously had a really nice breakout of this. We could extend it down to the POC. This red dot on the weekly, I'd say really, the daily's looking really nice. The daily's looking bullish to me. Another drop down to that box would look pretty bullish for me on the daily there. Yeah, so as long as we're holding above 250, I'm bullish on XRP. I don't hold any, by the way. I don't hold any XRP. And if ever I do get XRP, I sell it immediately. Alright, I sell it immediately. But sometimes I buy XRP just so I can sell it immediately. And take videos of my, and send to my XRP friends. I'm not even kidding. When MEXC had 0 spot fees, I used to buy XRP just so I could take a video of me selling it and send it to my XRP army friends, alright? My XRP obsessed friends. I used to do that just to piss them off. I would literally buy XRP just so I could screen share me selling it, send it to them. Anyway. I know, I'm ridiculous. I know. Okay? But yeah, as long as we hold above value area high, I think we're good. There is more room for downside here if we confirm the red dot on the weekly. You know, we could come down to 250, 240. That's a very key support resistance flip right there, 250, 240. But then I would assume we would get another bounce. I'm pretty bullish in general, like as it pertains to like the fall. September, October, November. I think we're going to see a lot of these altcoins pump. And remember, XRP is an altcoin, so if ETH is pumping, if Sol is pumping, if Link is pumping, if AVAX is pumping, if Cardano is pumping, also XRP is just going to pump, right? It's just the result of a bullish market in general. You know, the result of a bullish market in general. You don't believe me, says Casper? You understand what's going to happen to XRP? No, I don't hold any XRP, guys. I hate XRP. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. The last time I traded XRP was November 2020 when I shorted it, and that's not true. I've taken leverage trades on XRP since then, but I don't hold any XRP. I don't. Here's the thing about XRP. You got to understand. I'm an old school crypto guy. All right, I've been in crypto. The reason I got into crypto is because I hate the government, okay? I hate the government. I hate central banks. They fund both sides of every war. And they're manipulative. They devalue currency to steal purchasing power and generational wealth from the people. And they take it all to themselves, all right? And so with that's the mentality I have getting into Bitcoin, period. All right, Bitcoin is a big screw you to the central banks, right? We don't need you, central banks. We don't need your fiat nonsense. We have our own peer-to-peer currency. We don't need a middleman here. We can be our own bank. All right? We don't want the government to be involved with our money. It's none of their business, right? So then you have this company called Ripple comes along and they're like, hey, we're a crypto just like Bitcoin, except we love the banks. In fact, we're going to work with the banks so the banks can do a better job. So the real crypto people are like, screw that, man. You know, let me get some Zcash. Let me get some Dash. Let me get some Litecoin, man. Let me get some Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some Monero. Let me get some Ethereum, you know, smart contracts. But Ripple, man, we don't want nothing to do with that nonsense. So because of this, I don't buy Ripple, all right? Now, if I was getting into crypto nowadays, I don't believe Bitcoin is going to save us from the central banks. I mean, BlackRock is heavily invested in Bitcoin. It's been co-opted by the system, which it originally allegedly was supposed to be against, right? But, you know, for that reason, I just can't get into the Ripple, man. I just can't get into it. Is it going to pump? Yeah, I'm sure it'll pump. But I'm just not into it, right? I've made my money in crypto with Bitcoin primarily. And I like Bitcoin. So screw Ripple. All right? If the government can make a decision that affects the price of your crypto, it's a bad coin to be in, right? And unfortunately, Bitcoin's also getting to the place where the government can make decisions which affects the price of Bitcoin, which is why it's never going to be what it was supposed to be, and now we just got to use it for what it is while we can, so we can get stuff, right? So we can get stuff so that we can avoid the smart cities at all costs, right? Build up your infrastructure, start growing your food, raising your animals, build your communities, because, you know, we don't want to be a slave to the system, right? That's why we got into trading. That's why we got into crypto. We don't want to be a slave to the government and their systems where you're basically going to have to do what they say, or you don't get to eat, or you don't get to live. We don't want that, right? Zid not good. Zid not good. Shout out to Emmanuel. He says, you are all misinformed if you think Bitcoin is going to 250K, yet alone 150K. Get wrecked. Okay. See, my personal target for this cycle, my personal target, first of all, I sold it 120. I sold it 80. I sold it 60, 80, 100, 120. Those are my 4 big sells on Bitcoin in the past 4 years. The past year. But here's where I think Bitcoin could go. I think we could hit the 2-to-1 Fibonacci extension, which is, this is not exact here. Let me show you. This is not exact, okay? But we're probably going to be just front running 150 at the 2-to-1. Right now, we are currently finding resistance at the 1.618 Fibonacci extension, pretty much to the exact dollar. That's why my next target is 130, and this is not an exact pull here. All right. This is not an exact pull, and I usually do this on Bybit, so this is not the most accurate, but yeah, that's why my next target's 130. And then the front run of 150 is my moonshot target for this. 250, we're going to have to go to our 3.618. I just don't see it happening, guys. Not yet. I do see it happening, for sure. I mean, I don't think it's crazy for Bitcoin to go to $1 million at all. I don't think that's crazy at all. I think it's pretty reasonable, considering since I've been in, I've seen it go from 1,000 to 100,000. Right? I got in, you know, $600-700 Bitcoin, and here we are at 115,000. That's more than 100x. So a 10x is really not that crazy. All right, but is it going to happen within the next few months? I find it very unlikely. But it could happen, right? And I understand the case for why the 4-year cycle is broken. Now that we have like just a completely different space where it's not just your retail, it's your institutional and government investors that are the ones buying Bitcoin now, that does change things, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it is the money coming into an asset that moves the price. And the 4-year cycle, I mean, every time that happens, it becomes harder and harder and harder to mine Bitcoin. So things are changing. So I'm still open for change. I'm still open for the super cycle that people have been talking about forever. I just don't find it very probable right now. I don't find it very probable right now. Let's see. Am I bullish on XRP? I guess I'm bullish of it, right? Am I aware of the biblical wealth transfer? Well, I think whatever biblical wealth transfer you're talking about, my friend, you got to really read that into the text, all right? I mean, the two things we can say for sure about wealth and the Bible as it pertains to, like, the last days is somehow there's going to be a worldwide unified financial system which is going to be able to control whether or not people buy or sell based on certain things that they do or don't do, right? If they don't comply with what the government says, they won't be able to buy or sell. So I don't necessarily, or you're talking about the wealth transfer when the Lord comes back and the nations bring their wealth. That's a biblical wealth transfer. Other than that, I don't really know what you could be talking about. But yeah, when the Lord comes back, there's definitely going to be a wealth transfer. People are going to bring their wealth to Him. And before the Lord comes back, there's going to be like somehow a worldwide unified financial / spiritual system where if you don't comply, you're not going to be allowed to buy or sell, and you'll also be put to death. Look up Brandon Biggs. All right, I'll look him up, Scotty. Brandon Biggs. I will look him up. All right. I'm actually going to make a note of that right now. I'm going to text it to myself, bro. I'm going to text it to myself. There you go. Text it to myself. Brandon Biggs. Yeah, Pelagic 6. It just says those who don't take the mark can't buy or sell or trade. It doesn't say the monetary system necessarily. Yeah, that's true. I guess I have to infer there's going to be a unified monetary system, not necessarily a global unified currency. But somehow, I don't know, all the financial systems of the world are going to be like chain linked together, if you know what I mean. You know, like if only there was a blockchain that would link them all together, like chain link. You know, it could act as a chain link in between different systems so that they could all be unified. You know, where you don't have to stop using your currency, I don't have to stop using mine. But somehow they were all chain linked together. You know? If only there was something like that, maybe. When will we do the Blowfin giveaway? Let's do it now, man. Let's do it now. You guys want to do a Blowfin giveaway? Give away $500 on Blowfin? Look, we're waiting for Bitcoin to hit $116,000 so that we can give away $1,000. I'm just trying to stick it out here. I think we might be able to do it, man. I think we might be able to do it, man. But in the meantime, let's do a Blowfin giveaway. All right, as I said, to be eligible for the Blowfin giveaway, Blowfin, where we're trading here from the trade setup given from the exact bottom in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at jasoncaspertrading.com, setup given in advance. Let the community know when I go in from the exact bottom. Isn't that nuts? But, yeah, go to Blowfin, sign up using my link in the description, pinned comment, and then get your user ID up here by your little guy, and you're going to copy and paste that into the chat, all right? Into the YouTube chat. Copy and paste it into the YouTube live chat. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to count down from 10, and then the first 5 people who do it are going to be our winners, all right? The hour looks bullish on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's going to get a pump soon, all right? I think Bitcoin's going to get a pump soon, all right? Shout out to Crypto Incognito. Shout out to Snowcash. Yeah, so let's go ahead and pop the... Pele says you can't see my comment. I guess you're wrong, Pele. Alright. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pop on the YouTube live chat here. And we're gonna count down from 10. And the first 5 people who post their thing win $100. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna make it so we can see the Bitcoin price. We don't want to miss that, huh? And we're gonna count down from 10 here. All right. All right, let me reload this here. I want to make sure it's right. Put it on live chat. All right, here we go. All right, start posting your Blowfin user IDs, all right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1.25, 1, 0.75, 0.65, 0.55, 0.5, 0.25, 0. All right, let's see who was selected when. All right, so the normal Swede is our first winner. So the normal Swede, we've got him. Then we've got Zaid. We've got K-Jam, Preparing for War, and Doriani. All right, these guys are our 5 winners. Congratulations to our winners. I'm gonna go ahead and send these over to Blowfin right now. Alright, on over to Blowfin right now. Congratulations to our 5 winners. Now, if the price can smash through, all right. Shout out to Blowfin. They're submitting it right now. They're submitting it now. Cool, cool. Alrighty ho. Congratulations to our winners. Shout out to Preparing for War. Looks like it looks like the Lord was looking out for you, bro. You had some bad luck there with Blowfin the past few days. So now you're gonna get $100 to trade with. How do you get a Blowfin? Well, there's 2 ways to get a Blowfin. Way number 1 is you gotta go fishing for one. Deep sea fishing from a boat in salt water. The second way is you click the link in the description of the video and the pinned comment, and you can get sign up to Blowfin. And then we're gonna be doing these giveaways on the regular, guys. All right, we're gonna be doing these giveaways on the regular. I'll bet they didn't use the link. Well, if they didn't use the link, they're not qualified to win the giveaway. That's the thing, Paper Beats Rock. If they didn't use the link, then they're not qualified. So HFG, I'm not sure why yours is not showing up, bro. I really don't know. And you know me, bro. I wouldn't lie to you, man. Like, I really don't know what the deal is. So I'm gonna try and look into it. I can't imagine what the problem is because I can get your other chats. So I'm not sure, bro. I really don't know. YouTube does some weird stuff. I've seen the weirdest stuff here. I've seen people get banned and blocked, and I don't do it. It just happens sometimes. YouTube's a weird thing, man. So I'm gonna do my best to look into it, bro. All right, I'll reach out to one of my YouTube specialists up in here, you know? So, I know some peeps. K-Jam, he says, Jason Casper, the last $100 giveaway I received from you expired after 30 days. Well, make sure to use it, bro. Yeah, I trust you, HFG. I trust you, bro. I trust you, man. I trust you. I hope you trust me, too. I hope you know I'm not, like, trying to screw you over, man. I'm sure you know. But, yeah, I don't know, bro. Alright, shout out to Investment Time in the chat. Shout out to, Schwarz's Ice. And Sergeant Squid, can we check Sui? Yeah, we'll check Sui. What do I think happens after 116? If we can reclaim 116, we go straight to 118 here. My take profit. And then if we reclaim 118, which is the POC of the range, we're going straight up to around 121, which is the liquidity of this trend line. You know, we're going to squeeze all this. I'm going to squeeze it all, baby. Squeeze it all. Let's check out Sui for our good friend, as Bitcoin is attempting to make another move to the upside as we are confirming a 1-hour red dot, which doesn't look too bearish in my estimation. It doesn't look too bearish in my estimation. Alright, so SUI, man, this is what we were looking at back in, I guess, March. It does look bullish. Let's remove everything here. Look, the deal about SUI is this. We are breaking out and have gotten a back test from the key support resistance flip. Since this time, we've made higher high, higher low, slightly higher high. I think this consolidation is likely to break to the upside. We did break the trend line. Now we're back inside the trend line. So let's just pull a fib here. So we did bounce from that golden pocket zone first. The weekly doesn't have a bear div, which is a good sign. Let's go down to the daily. This looks beautiful. The daily here looks beautiful. I'm bullish. I think this is bullish consolidation. Yeah, so I would say this, like, right now, because our local range is pretty much between here and here, a good buy right now would be if we get the drop back down to $2.70. That would be really nice, a really nice entry. But as soon as we reclaim the trend line, technically speaking, we've gotten a breakout and a back test, right? As soon as we reclaim the trend line, we've gotten a breakout and a back test. So if we do reclaim this green trend line here, and we get that trigger wave on the daily, that looks pretty nice. That does look pretty nice. Shout out to K-Jam. Shout out to Jesse Gellick. Oh, you broke your hip, bro. May the Lord heal you quickly. Sorry to hear about that, man. How to use Blowfin in the USA? In some states, you might need a VPN. In most states, you don't. Sometimes if I go to like the New York City area, North Jersey area, it like kicks me out. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. We're going to 118. I hope so, JC. JC, I hope so, my man. Guys, this is the first time I've ever done a stream for more than an hour in a very long time. And I'm quite sweaty and thirsty. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go downstairs and get a drink. Alright? I'm going to get some water. I'll be right back. And then we'll keep on going. Because I really want the Bitcoin price to hit 118,000 during this stream. And I think we can. I think we can. I think we just need some time. Alright? Alright, I'll be right back. All right. We're back, baby. Boom. Oh, man. I just drank so much water, guys. I don't have air conditioning upstairs in my house in the summer. And it's very humid out, so I'm not used to that 2-hour sweat, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Preparing for War. He says, join the Casper crew. I guarantee you'll be happy you did. I got lost on the way to get water. Shout out to Dawn who says frozen. It did seem that way, didn't it? Yeah, I was getting some water, guys. I was pretty dang thirsty. Look, I'm just good at staying still while I'm on the treadmill. Shout out to Crypto Sir. He says, nice music. Gunny LP, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. Jesse, may you have a speedy recovery, bro. You can't live without AC. You know, here's the weird thing. So, when me and my wife first got married, our apartment that we lived in had AC, but we didn't use it because we wanted to toughen ourselves up, you know? Because, honestly, I think air conditioning is pretty bad for humanity in general. Comfort is something that is nice, but it softens you up big time, right? So we would suffer through the heat. Our landlord thought we were insane. He couldn't get it. He didn't understand. I said, look, man, you know, if the grid goes down, I want to be used to it, right? I do have air conditioning now. I have air conditioning now in the downstairs portion of my home. And it has softened me up, you know? So I come up here in the office, I walk, I sweat, I go outside. In the heat, I push myself to be super uncomfortable in the heat. I can spend hours out there working in the sun, in the heat, because I've conditioned myself. I think it's important to do that, you know? I know I'm crazy, I know. I'm nuts! Shout out to Cosmos, who appreciates the free trading course. Cold plunge? I don't do cold plunges. I don't know how do people even do cold plunges? How do people get the cold water to do cold plunges? I'm not sure how people even get that. Like, what do you do? Do you have, like, where do you get all that ice? You know? And where do you get all that ice every day? Like, I have a freezer that makes ice cubes. I don't think that would cool down a bathtub. I don't know. Where do people get that cold water? These people are like, every day I do an ice plunge. Where the heck do you get that ice, man? I don't get it. Alright? Someone let me know. Yeah, where do you get the ice, though, E3? Like, where do you get all that ice? Where do you go to, like, a gas station and buy all this ice? The freezer? I mean, how much? I don't have that much freezer space, bro. You know? Glaciers, I see, glaciers. Live in the mountains, okay, I got you. Yeah, they get it from 7-Eleven? I guess so. The closest store I have to me is Dollar General. It's the closest store to me. It's still pretty far. Yeah, I don't have that much time. When are you going to start scalping the 5-second hand? I've been dabbling, Crispy. I've been dabbling with the 5-second scalping. I've been taking some scalps on KSEX, man. You know, took a few scalps today on it as well. Oh, they made a cold plunge that keeps it cold. I got you. You can get a water chiller for 500. Okay, cool, cool. That's good to know, Brandon Keys. Maybe I'll get one. You know, I always see all these YouTube shorts. They spike my dopamine. You know? If I pump groundwater, it should be that... Nah, my groundwater's not that cold, Siggy. I mean... And I have a hand pump on it, but my standing water level's like 65 feet. It's not that deep, maybe, to be that cold, but my groundwater is not that cold. Can I tell you why I entered here? I didn't actually enter here. I actually entered down here. And the reason I entered down there is because I was planning for it in the Casper Crew Discord. And when we came down to that 786, which was 112.5, I saw bullish divergences on my time frames. So I let the community know I've taken along from the 786, and the 786 it was this. Let's zoom in and take a look at how it looked on Market Cipher B in the moment when we came down to that 786. We were seeing the 12-minute Market Cipher B having bullish divergences, 12-minute momentum waves, 12-minute money flow getting higher over time. As we came down to the 786, I had a clear invalidation. We had a daily order block just below the 786. That was my invalidation. Yeah, that's why I entered at the 786. Entered right here on this candle here. At 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, which is exactly when I let the community know. At 11 o'clock a.m. that I was long because of that, right? I've since added to the position. I've since added to my position here after securing a take profit 1. So I can have a nice $200,000 position size. Lord willing, up to $118,000, where I'm going to take out half. Alright? That's my plan for it. How did I meet my wife? The Lord brought her to me. I prayed for her and the Lord brought her to me. It's hard to meet a good woman these days. I'm glad I met my wife young. I can't imagine not being married. So, I've been married for 11 years. Man, that sounds so old. 11 years, it sounds crazy, actually. I remember back in my day. Man. When I see the 12-minute strategy forming, how do you find an entry with good risk management? Well, I recommend you check out the free course, man, on YouTube, alright? This is a video from the free course. I mean, look at how quality the content is here, honestly. You can't go wrong. But, look, for me, it was quite simple. When we came down to that 786, the order of operations is this, alright? This is something I was telling the VIP this morning, alright? I'll give you the short version. The most important thing when it comes to the trade is the level, alright? The level is what gives you your invalidation. So, here's the deal. We had a daily order block at 112.502. We had our 786 at 112.642. That means, for me, as we're coming down to this zone, I know that this is my box. If we lose this box, then I'm wrong. Like, my whole trade plan is wrong, okay? So it makes it very easy to say, okay, I can get in here, I put my stop underneath that daily. Alright, this gives me a very tight stop. Alright, my TP1, just at the Fibonacci golden pocket. Alright, this is, at the time, about a 5-to-1 risk reward by the time you get in. it was for me about a 5-to-1 risk reward, which means you can take out half the trade at this point and make 2.5 times more than what you risked on the trade. The invalidation is the level. Like, the whole idea is this. This is why you have to, like, understand market structure and, like, just the context of your trade. The context is we're gonna assume this is the bottom. You have to always make assumptions when you take a trade. You might be right, you might be wrong, but you have to just go with I'm right. And the risk management is what protects you if you're wrong. We're assuming this is the bottom. We're assuming this is the change of structure and this is our higher high. And then we know, okay, if we're going to make a higher low, it's going to come between the golden pocket and the 786 most likely, right? So when you're planning for the position, like when I plan for the trade, I'm planning for it basically coming down to around this 786 zone. I already know before I even take the trade that my stop loss goes below that daily order block at 112.502. Right? Below that, and there's very low chance of the higher low coming in, right? So now what we have here is we have ourselves the area we're looking to trade, the area where if it goes below, we know we're wrong, and the confirmations that we want to see, right? So then when you come down to the chart, and you're like, okay, we're at the 786, you know, we didn't bounce from the golden pocket. We didn't even try to bounce from the golden pocket. We slipped right through like a hot knife through butter. And so I didn't long that. But then when I see this, I see immediately we start to get a bounce. And we were even gifted with a back test with the bullish divergence. So it's pretty clear. It's a good risk to reward ratio. Like when I posted about it in the community, I basically was saying, look, I've taken along because we bounced from the 786 with bullish divs. My invalidation is under the daily. It's a low risk, high potential reward trade. TP1 at the 5-to-1 at the golden pocket. You know? And eventually we hit that TP1. It took a long time. I almost cut the trade. If we start to form a triangle here, I was going to cut that one. But we didn't form a triangle. We made a higher high. Right? Because you don't want to bounce from the 786 and then start to form a symmetrical triangle. You don't want that to happen. That means dump, right? And then after a long, painful process, we finally hit our TP1, right? And now we're shooting for 118,000. That's what we're shooting for now. Shout out to Red Elephant in the chat. The whale says we can only find used girls open like oysters. We gotta go to church, man. You know? Gotta go to church to find a good woman. That's what you need to do. Alright, so we're waiting for Bitcoin to hit our target here. If it does, we're giving away $1,000. Alright, we're gonna come up to our target here. Giveaway. This is the giveaway level. Let's go. Shout out to Octavian. Do I only trade Bitcoin? Primarily, man, I only trade Bitcoin. I do trade other assets, but Divine Hood says, Jay, why are you not watching 16.8? It's the Val. Yeah, you're right, bro. It's my zone. It's like my zone. Yeah, the value area low of the previous range. It's my general zone. We've got ourselves a few confluences there. So we've got the value area low. We've got a, if I'm not mistaken, the Fibonacci golden pocket right around there too. You know, depending on where you want to pull it from. So yeah, it's a zone for me. It's a zone. Shout out to Divine Hood, guys. If you're not subscribed to Divine Hood on YouTube, go subscribe to Divine Hood on YouTube. Go subscribe to Divine Hood on YouTube. Everyone's ignoring Litecoin until it goes ballistica. Ballistica. That would be cool, man, when Litecoin goes ballistic. Seriously. David has a good time sticking to the plan for a while, but then all of a sudden can't. You know, although I can't answer that question for you, man, I can say this. If that happens to you, stop trading for a while, okay? If that happens to you, stop trading for a while, bro. Just go away and come back when you're back in the right mind space. It's very important if you have identified that I am not in the right mind space right now to trade, that you don't trade. Seriously. That's why it's good to trade on the laptop. Close that dang thing. Alright? Close the dang laptop. You want to learn about Market Cypher, be in depth? I mean, I have a course. It does cost money. I think it's like 400 bucks. That goes real in depth on Market Cypher. More in depth than in the free course. So if you're really interested, you can check that out. But, look, I'll tell you this. Market Cypher is an amazing indicator. Once you know how to use it, it is by far the best tool on TradingView. But at the same time, the indicator you use, guys, is the icing on the cake when it comes to your trading. It's the last thing to be worried about. So if you're new to trading, I recommend you learn a little bit of TA before you even worry about indicators. Like, seriously. People are always looking for that, especially new traders, that one tool that's going to just give them that amazing, profitable win rate. There's no such thing as that, man. All right? The profitability comes from really your risk management. And then once you have your risk management down, then you work on your strategy. And once you get your strategy down, you know, the last thing I look at when I'm getting into a trade is my indicator. The first thing I look at is where's price, and do I have a plan to take a trade? And if I've identified that we're at a place where I'm looking to take a trade, then it just becomes much easier to use the indicator. Because here's the thing, if you're just using an indicator, you will convince yourself of anything, okay? You could convince yourself of anything, especially if you're new. You'll be on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the 20 minute, the 10 minute. You're like, oh, we're bullish, we're bearish, we're bearish, we're bullish, we're going up, we're going down. You don't know. Alright? You use the indicator once you know what kind of a trade you're looking for, right? So for me, for example, this trade I'm in now, I used my indicator to get into this trade when we were in this little green box. Alright? The indicator would have told me to go long all over the place here. But because we weren't in the little green box, you ignore it, right? So, I just want to make that pretty clear. Shout out to Focus. He says DOT. Shout out to Vic M Turbo. Yeah, let's take a look at DOT. So, here's the thing about DOT. I've heard Divine Hood, if you're still here, you know, Divine Hood told me the tokenomics for DOT are making it so that even if the market cap reaches its previous all-time high. There's no way. Speaking here, I have to say, man, we are forming very, very, very bullish divergences on the weekly time frame as support can be. Even if we just come back up to the midline of the range from where we're at right now on dot, we're talking 10 times more upside, 11 times more upside than downside. Even if we just come up to the halfway point. If we can make all-time highs 64 times more upside than downside, we have very bullish divergences here. All right. Now, I'm not a fundamental guy. I haven't researched DOT. I do hold DOT, but I would be cautious with it. I would make sure to do your research. But this is the kind of chart where if the fundamentals are good, that you definitely want to be buying. It looks really good. All right. We're at as support can be with as bullish divergence as possible. All right. So those are my thoughts. Can we look at Turbo? Sure. Let's check out Turbo. So this is, I guess, my general plan for Turbo. Looking for a bounce from between the golden pocket 786. Because of the breakout and the retest of the key support resistance flip with a trigger wave on the weekly. We got a swing failure pattern of the high of the range. And so we were looking for a higher low back test. Did we tap into that box? We did not tap into the box yet. Of course, we're not guaranteed to tap into the box, but I would say this, it looks good. It looks like now our range is, as we had drawn out on the chart here, between the high at around 63.99 and our low at the support resistance flip, which basically means as we're coming back down toward the lower half of this range, it's a time to be looking to get in. Let's check out the daily. The daily is looking nice here. Bullish divergence. Trigger wave, money flow cross, printing. Even if we get in now, not financial advice, with our stop below the low and our target at the high, that is a 6-to-1 risk-reward ratio. You know, we're giving our invalidation under this low. We're assuming that this range, the bottom of this range is the bottom. The support resistance flip is going to hold. And then we're assuming that our next push, we're going to break above this resistance, which is the support resistance flip of this upper range, which will then bring us to the top of the upper range. We have nice bullishness on the weekly here. Trigger wave forming. We don't have enough data, really, to give us divergences. But the daily gave us a really nice bull div here. A really nice bull div here. And now we're printing a trigger wave with increasing money flow. It looks good. It looks good, and we're close to support. So not financial advice, but it looks good, and we're close to support. Let's check out the order flow for Bitcoin quickly. We have no buyers stepping in. We might have to wait for Asia, because right now, this is just dead. All right? Shorts closing, longs closing. We have no volume coming in here. This is dead. All right? This is just totally dead right now. It's totally dead. Major shout out to Cyrus Grayson. He says, thanks for not forgetting about us on YouTube today. Bro, I never forget about you guys on YouTube. But, you know, the thing is, I've been streaming early. But today I had an opportunity to stream in the afternoon, so I figured, you know what? Let me stream in the afternoon. Let me stream in the afternoon. But, yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat, bro. What was I going to look at? I was going to check something. Alright. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in to the afternoon stream. I know it's been crazy. Streaming at different times, you know? It's been pretty crazy. Bitcoin taking a bit of a tumble here. Dang it, guys. I was really hoping we were going to hit our level on the stream. I think we're going to break it too. I thought it was going to happen on stream, honestly. Leviathan. Levia. I thought we were going to do it on stream. But when can you expect the Blowfin prize? Soon. My guy from Blowfin submitted it to his team, so they'll get it out ASAP. Alright? Probably won't take longer than a day. Maybe we stream for 12 more hours. Yeah, the range. We gotta trade the range. Man, what a bummer. I was in a short from here, too. I hope we just do the old, you know. That's what I hope we do. Shout out to Cyrus. He said, work listening from the 32-foot ladder on Bluetooth speaker. Neighbors are jammed to the pump song. Ha! That's what's up. Jason is working OT today. Yeah, man, I'm working OT, you know. I did hit legs this morning. Hit legs and shoulders this morning. Now I'm on the treadmill, you know. Just a slow walk, man. 2.5 miles per hour. You know. Shout out to Investment Time. What's going on, bro? Guys, if we hit our level, we're giving a $1,000 giveaway today. I really hope we can do it. I don't know. Have I ever done red light therapy? Yeah, all the time, David Hornback. I got myself a big old red light machine in the bathroom. And, yeah, I always do red light therapy. I do think it has benefits, honestly. I'll be honest, though, I also am lazy with it. So, I found it works well, like, in the winter time, especially, like, when you don't get a lot of sunlight at night. When I first started doing it, it made me feel really good. I thought maybe it was like placebo, because after a while I stopped noticing it. So I don't know. Maybe I'll hook it up after the stream. You know? Yeah, CBK Wahoo. I know the weekly gave us the red dot, and it looks pretty bearish. We already looked over it, and I gave my whole entire Bitcoin analysis already in the stream about 2 hours ago. You've been hitting your neck, says DACTube. That's what's up, man. I've never actually trained my neck, you know. That's not true. I did for a little bit. I tried doing some neck curls or whatever. I feel like just doing deadlifts hits the neck, you know, and doing like shrugs, Kelso shrugs and stuff. Is that a Bitcoin short on the screen? Nah. Get some blue light glasses. Yeah, you know, I used to really be into the blue light glasses myself. Not anymore. I haven't been on the computer as much anymore. In fact, this is the first day I've been on the screen in the afternoon like this in quite some time. I wonder how I'll sleep tonight. With so much blue light. You know? But, man, I just guess we're not going to hit that level today, guys. I guess we're not going to do it, man. I guess we're not going to do it. Do I plan on shorting Bitcoin once the top is in? Absolutely. So my strategy with shorting is every short I ever take with Bitcoin, I hold, man. If it doesn't get stopped out, I hold it, you know? Blue light glasses are dangerous. I'm sure they're dangerous if you wear them all the time. Like, But if you use them to counteract the amount of blue light you get, it's probably alright. So I see people who literally wear blue light glasses all the time. You know, when the light shines on them and you can see the blue reflection, you're like, are you wearing blue light glasses? And they're like, yeah. It's like, why? Like, you're not on a screen right now. You know, it's all about that balance in life. The problem is, being on a screen can get you so out of whack. Huh, interesting. Divinehood says, bro, leatherite therapy did some weird stuff to my ankle. When I had it all swollen and bruised, it would tingle and get very hot when I put the red light on it. Healed quick, though. That's good to know. That is good to know. 142,000 incoming, says Drunkle Ron Walker. I hope so, bro. That would be cool. Do they shoot blue light? Yeah, the blue light glasses, they do shoot blue light like laser beams. Yeah. They're dangerous. That's why they're dangerous. Especially if you get road rage. The blue light shoots out and pops the tires of the car you're mad at. Not good. Yeah, blue light is bad for you. LED lights are bad for you. It's all bad for you. Everything in modern society is bad for you. You know? Sucks. But it is what it is. So you gotta do your best to counterbalance it. If you're gonna live in modern society, which we all choose to do, I mean, we all have the choice right now to enlarge our testicular fortitude and say, you know what, I'm gonna go out there and live like the Amish. No electricity, gonna grow all my own food, live in strong communities, not be in the rat race of the modern society. But let's be honest, we don't do it because we really don't want that. Let's be honest, we don't want that. Even if we say we do, we don't, right? Because we've just been conditioned to live the way with the comforts we have. So if you're going to live in modern society, you got to do your best to counteract the things you can. Clean up your diet as much as possible. Stay active as much as possible. Get outside as much as possible. You know. Touch the ground as much as possible. Is winning bad for you? I guess that depends, right? It depends on what you do with it. I mean, I'm sure, like, it's interesting. It seems to be that a lot of people who make money real quick end up losing money real quick because I guess winning was bad for them, right? A lot of musicians, a lot of athletes, they make a lot of money real quick, they win, and then it turns out to be bad for them, right? If everything in modern society is bad, then don't go to the hospital when you break your leg. Well, I have to believe that going to the hospital when you break your leg is absolutely one of the best parts about modern society. It's one of the best parts about modern society, and probably one of the best parts about modern medicine is the ability to fix a broken bone or stitch it back together if you get in a wreck. But in general, a lot of things about modern society, I should say, are unhealthy for us. Right? The screens, even just the technology, the unnatural relationships that we have, like our relationship. Me and you. That's right, I see you out there. I see you out there. It's not natural. It's not natural. We're talking to each other in this chat. I can't see or hear you. You can see and hear me. This is very strange. Like, what does that do to your brain? We don't know. Texting and Discord groups and being sedentary and eating foods that are not healthy for your body. The isolation that comes with modern society as well is not healthy. We're meant to live in communities and have strong bonds with people. And modern society has kind of made that not impossible, but more difficult. A lot of people find more community through the metaverse than they do in the real life. And that's not, it's not the healthiest thing, right? The blue light is not healthy for you. The LED lights are not healthy for you. just the rat race in general is not healthy for you. Like, our whole modern society, like, this idea that, like, you're a kid, and then you're a teenager, and then you grow up and you, like, leave your whole family to go off and, like, have a job. It's just not how it was supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to stick together and build strong communities and build off of each other. Like, the sons build from what the fathers have done. And, you know, you're not supposed to start off on your own and not know who your neighbors are because everyone goes to their own job. It's just a very strange society we live in, you know? It's strange. It's not natural in the sense that at no time in history has it ever been like this as far as we know. I mean, I always think to myself, before the flood of Noah, things were probably much more technologically advanced than they are now. So, at least in the last 5,000 years of recorded history, it's never been like this, right? Something about being in church online from your couch and your underwear is liberating. Man, I know how you feel. The temptation is real, okay? But it is so important to have actual in-person fellowship and forsake not the gathering together of the saints. Right? It's super, super important. The Bible says you leave your family and start your own family. I don't think it quite means that, Artie. Otherwise, you wouldn't have Jacob and his 12 sons and all their kids living in general together. You know what I'm saying? That's how nations were started, bro. Alright, can you imagine if all of the 12 patriarchs just decided, you know what, I'm gonna just go my own way? Alright? That's just not how it was. Abraham, he had his whole household with him, right? So look, I don't think it means that you leave your family like that. Historically, the parents, they start to do something, the children, they build upon it, whether it be a business, a craft, a skill, something that you pass down, you know? Do I believe in Atlantis? Yeah, like, I don't, so what I do believe in for sure is that there clearly has been very ancient, very advanced human civilizations on the earth that are prehistoric in the sense that we don't necessarily have written historical record about them, at least access to it. I'm sure it exists out there, and if it does, I'm sure we're not reading about it. You know? But for sure, look, the Bible says that there was a worldwide flood that wiped out everybody except 8 people. And before the flood, people lived to be like 900 years old. There's something different about the earth back then, before the flood, where people were living to be close to 1,000 years old. So, if you think about it, imagine if, in our modern day, you could talk to an ancestor of yours that was born 800 years ago, okay? And all the knowledge and the technology is available to you, and you can go back in time and talk to that person. He's still alive, you know? I think there was a very advanced society that lived on the earth. I also believe that the fallen angels gave people technology to do things that were very advanced. Far more advanced than what we can do today, right now. I think this is most clearly seen when you look at the Cyclopean architecture that exists all over the world. These insanely large, monolithic structures that go deep underground with stones that are perfectly carved out to fit together, that are massive. We have no idea how they could have moved them. They're all over the world, right? So clearly they had some technology, right? To do stuff like that. Tartaria. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's the thing. Like, these things get, like... There's so many different types of, like, legends and myths that get built around the same ideas. Tartaria, Thule, Atlantis, you know? We're not going to look at the Litecoin chart today. We could look at the Litecoin chart. It looks like Bitcoin's not... It looks like Bitcoin's not going to get a move up. Like, which sucks, man. I was really hoping for it. Yeah, we could take a look at the Litecoin chart. I think Litecoin's a good asset to have. I do think it's kind of a sleeping giant. Look at this. We're coming back to value area high. We got a really nice bounce from the 786, 886 pocket. And we're forming a massive triangle here on Litecoin that goes back to 2017. Sheesh, man. So, would not surprise me to see Litecoin back around $500-600. The breakout of this thing. That would not surprise me at all. It looks bullish. Like, everything about Litecoin looks bullish right now. The question is, are we going to see just a slightly higher high? Are we going to see a lower high? I think the chart objectively looks bullish. We go to the monthly time frame, and it doesn't look bearish. It doesn't look bearish. Money flow is getting thicker. Momentum's getting higher. If we can reclaim 130 and hold above, that's a very, very strong sign, right? That's a very key support resistance flip. A very strong sign for Litecoin, for sure. Don't follow Kenneth Copeland from Texas, says somebody. Preparing for war, agrees and thinks that many civilizations knew what was coming. Have I read The Unseen Realm by Michael Heiser? Yeah, I have, actually. It's a great book. I like Michael Heiser because he's a Hebrew nerd. Do I believe people were bigger in size back then? I don't necessarily think people were bigger in size back then. I do think that there were giants existing back then. But I don't think your average person was bigger. What's under the Giza Plateau? I know, right? Who knows? Those are one of the things, like... Am I Pentecostal? I guess not. Don says it's dumping from here. Not even a retrace. Let's check it out. That's lame. What a lame way to end the day. Oof! Nah, it's not over until the fat lady sings, Dawn. Come on. Thankfully, there's no fat ladies around me. At least none that I see. Was Dolores on Noah's Ark? I don't know. I don't know. She might have been one of Noah's son's wives. You think people were bigger back then? I mean, there's really nothing that would indicate they were or that they weren't. Why pick one god? Why pick many? Why not except being an agnostic. I would be an agnostic if I wasn't a Christian. I would be an agnostic. That's the most intellectually honest position to take. If you are without knowledge of the true God, then yeah, you'd be agnostic. Just means without knowledge. But if there is a God, and He created us, then you would expect He would make Himself known to His creation. And so, I believe that we can know who God is. That's why I'm not agnostic. When was the last time we had an alt season? I'd say the real last time we had an alt season was the last bull run. I don't consider this fake, alt run we had in January legit. The Anunnaki were bigger. Yeah, so that's the thing. So I don't consider them to be people. I consider them to be like hybrids. The Anunnaki, the sons of Anak, they were hybrids. So they were like hybrids between heavenly beings and humans, and they were bigger. Most people believe that they were bigger. Yeah, shout out to Wisely. No problem looking at Litecoin, bro. Look, I think that I think that Litecoin's a good asset to get into. You know what I'm saying? Is Bigfoot real, Ben? Wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Wouldn't surprise me if if Bigfoot was real in one degree or the other. So nothing surprises me. Nothing surprises me. Nothing shocks me. You could tell me anything, and I'd be like, "Huh, that's pretty interesting. Let's look into it. Why do you think that?" You know? They say that ancient people were smaller. Look, it all depends, right? If you go back and you are looking at bones from the time when people were malnourished, then for sure, right? Then they would be smaller. You know? Mister says there's no way they were bigger than me. I mean, come on, baby. I mean, come on. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. CBK says, he says all religions, institutions, and governments are nothing more than control. Changed my mind. LOL. You won't be able to change it at this point in life. Fair enough, CBK. Fair enough. Yeah, I just have to disagree when it comes to, a biblical worldview. I mean, the scripture was suppressed and hidden from the common people. The people who translated the Bible into English literally did so, risking their lives, and many were killed for it. Because the governments and the institutions didn't want people to read a book that said, God is the real king, Jesus is the real king, and the governments and the institutions didn't want people to read a book that talked about how all the powers and governments and kingdoms of the world are someday going to be overthrown by the Lord. So, that's why I disagree about, people say, the Bible is meant to control you. That really doesn't make any sense. If you're going to do what the Bible says, it will lead to your blessing and to your freedom. It actually will make it harder for a government to control you. The reason I say that is because, an immoral people is very easy to control, The more immoral a society is, the more into bondage that society goes. I mean, people are concerned right now about a police state coming in, for example, like in the West. But the reality is, if people actually lived by what the Bible says to do, there would be no need for so much police force. There would be no need for militarization of the police, because people wouldn't be committing crimes against each other. An immoral society goes into bondage. Let's take sexual immorality, for example. Having sexual relations outside of a marital covenant, when you're having children outside of the structure of a family, that will just lead to complete chaos in society, because now you have these children that are not being raised by their parents who are instilling values in them. They're being raised by the state primarily. I mean, you've got guys, I know people in my own life, they have like 5 kids with 5 different girls. They see their kids rarely. Their kids don't have a father. And so what happens? The mom has to work. Now the state raises the kids. And whatever the state wants the kids to believe, that's what the kid is going to believe. And then it goes generationally, where when those kids have kids, there's going to be no structure, no kind of moral, ethical structure and how you should conduct yourself. And this is going to lead to people who are completely dependent upon the state, which leads right into bondage, okay? Now contrast that with a moral people, and I'm using the term moral in a biblical way, right? We're going to take the morality of the scripture, how you should conduct yourself as a human, and you're going to have strong communities, people that don't hurt each other, don't rip each other off, don't steal from each other, don't cheat each other, help each other. You're going to have a society where money is fair, just weights and measures. They're not going to have fiat currency where people are stealing wealth from the common person. You're not going to have a society where a small portion of people can get all the money to themselves. There's so many aspects to it. And it makes there less of a need for a tyrannical government to come in and start controlling that people. You know? That's why it's so prevalent in our society to push immorality and promote and glorify immorality. And when I talk about it, it sounds even shocking to a lot of people that I would say having a sexual relationship outside of marriage is wrong. Like, that's how far we've come, right? But yeah, it's destructive to society. It's destructive to society over time. And why do you think every movie you watch, they're always pushing some kind of weird sexual thing in there, and drugs, and normalizing drinking, and normalizing violence, and normalizing consumerism and materialism? It's because they want you to be immoral, because they want you to be easily controlled. Now, when you read the scripture, you see a totally different picture, you know? The Bible says that man is fallen, man is sinful, but there's a solution to the problem, which is God. He took on humanity. He entered into his own creation as humanity. And as humanity, he died to pay for the sins of humanity. And then he rose again from the dead. And he promises if you put your faith in him, turn from your sin, put your faith in him, he'll cause you to be born again as a new creation. Your old sinful nature that was leading to your destruction and was leading to your bondage, physically and spiritually, is now cut off from you, and you're a new creation. Now you actually have the power to walk in God's ways, which leads to your freedom. When you're no longer in bondage to immorality, it actually leads to your freedom. And that's the message of the Bible. Totally contrary to the message that is being pushed on people these days, honestly. Alright, so Bar Guy says Christianity has no place deciding morals. American Christians are the opposite of Jesus. Okay, well then sure. American Christians should not be deciding what is moral and what is not. Alright? Jesus should be the one deciding what is moral and what is not. Alright? Fair enough, bro. Shout out to Upper Room NYC, a Messianic synagogue. Shout out to Upper Room in the chat. What's going on, Upper Room NYC, a Messianic synagogue in New York City? What's going on? God bless you. Shout out to Upper Room. I have to work better on my upper chest. Bro, I'm trying my best, bro. I really am. All right, let's see. I'm trying to work the upper chest. All right, let's see. How's it looking? I don't think it looks too bad. It's come a long way. I've always had trouble working the upper chest. I'm very delt dominant. You can tell. Look at my delts. All right, they're jacked. They're ripped. So I've always been very delt dominant. It's been very difficult for me to work the chest. I feel like I've made some improvements the last few years, but you know, what can I do? You know, maybe I'll have to hop on some trend. Shout out to Upper Room NYC. He says, God bless you, bro, in Yeshua's name. May Yeshua bless you. Already started taking turkesterone. Have I ever tried? No, but I'm into it. Donna says, it should be common sense what is right and what is wrong. You'd think that, right? But then when you actually test that idea, you realize it's not common sense of what's right and what's wrong. Which is why you go throughout different societies and different civilizations throughout history, and people always have such a hard time knowing what's right and what's wrong. Okay? Certain things that have been right throughout history in different civilizations are things like relations with young children has been considered right and normal. Different types of racist genocide, killing people because of their genetics, has been considered right and moral. Rape and all these kinds of things. And what's strange actually about it is you know, if there's no creator, if there's no more objective morality by which to judge whether something is right or wrong, it's really up to a person's opinion what's right or wrong, you know? Like, for example, I mean, yeah, shout out to Upper Room Messianic Synagogue. Check out the channel, the YouTube channel, Upper Room Messianic Synagogue. See if we can pull it up here. Man, I wish Bitcoin wasn't taking a dump. Let's pull it up over here. Go subscribe, y'all. Go subscribe. Oh no, my crypto goods. What's going on, bro? You always come in. You always come in with these questions, bro. Gun to head questions. Oh my goodness. Oh man, my crypto goods. I can't answer that for you, bro. Not on YouTube, man. Not on YouTube. I don't know, man. That's a tough question. I'm so sorry, man. I can't answer it. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to deal with, bro. The Bible says rape is okay as long as you pay for it. No, that's not true. That's not true. If you rape a woman, you die. In the Bible, you get stoned to death. If you have sex with a woman and it's consensual, then you have to marry her. You have to take care of her. And even if the dad says, there's no way you're marrying my daughter, you still have to pay the dad. But so yeah, and if you rape somebody in the Bible, you get stoned to death. All right, can you imagine if there'd be a lot less rape if people got stoned for it? Just saying. Not that I think we should stone people for rape. It's not my place to say. But it's too late to get into Mamo? I don't know. I never heard of Mamo. Never heard of Mamo. I never heard of Mamo. It would be cool to read the original Bible before the Vatican got their hands on it. Oh, what a coincidence. We can. Let's take a quick look. This is P66. This is the Gospel of John that dates back to the 2nd century. It's before the Vatican was a thing. All right? This is before the Vatican was a thing. You can read what it says. Isn't that cool? This is from the 200s. You can read it for yourself. You can read the whole Gospel of John for yourself, going back way before the Vatican was a thing, in Greek. So there's plenty of manuscripts. That's what's so cool about the Bible. You can know what it said before the Vatican, before the Council of Nicaea, before all the things that people like to talk about when they changed or rewrote the Bible. You can go back before all that stuff and see what it said. All right, so this is like what the Bible said in the 2nd century, before Constantine, before the Catholic Church. All right, this is what it said. You can go and read it for yourself. Isn't that cool? That's so cool. And of course, you got the good old Dead Sea Scrolls. You can go read it for yourself. I mean, this is the prophet Isaiah, who wrote around 700 BC, 700 years before Jesus' day. And this scroll itself is probably from around 250, 300 years before Jesus' day. You can go read it way before the Catholic Church was a thing, right? You can zoom in, you can read it for yourself. Isn't that cool? That's pretty cool. I think so. You know what's funny? As I'm looking at this, I think they made a mistake on the website. I think they made a mistake on the website. Yeah, they made a mistake. Look at this. They have their verses wrong. They have their verses wrong. No way. Yeah, they're wrong. Whoever did this website is wrong. This should be verse 6. This says, Ki yeled yulad lanu benitan lanu v'tiam Yisrael al shikmo vayikra shemo pele yoetz el gibor avi ad sar hashalom. They got this wrong. Whoops. Well, if you know the Hebrew, you can go and see it for yourself. What did the Bible say before the Vatican and all that stuff? That's pretty cool, if you ask me. How's Bitcoin doing? Oh, Burger Wheat says the Dead Sea Scrolls were mostly debunked. Cool. What do you mean by debunked, bro? Like, what do you mean? Where is the expected pump? I'm expecting to pump up to $116,000. And then I'm expecting 118. And then 121. Shout out to Alex O Crypto. God bless you, bro. Good to see you here, man. We're waiting for Bitcoin to pump to 116,000, but it looks like it's not gonna. If it does, I'm gonna give away $1,000. Isn't it odd that most of Christianity's holidays are mere pagan holidays? Yeah, that is really weird. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I don't really celebrate Christmas. But, you know, it depends on who you ask. I haven't really done a lot of research into the pagan holidays. I'll be honest with you. I haven't really done a lot of research into it. But yeah, I will acknowledge the fact that throughout the years, Christianity has incorporated a lot of elements of things that are, I guess, from other religions. So in my own walk, I keep things biblical. All right, I keep things biblical. You know, like for example, like Jesus being born in the winter. There's no way he was born in the winter. You know, that's a later kind of tradition, right? But other than that, I don't really think there are any holidays that are borrowed from paganism. I mean, Passover, that's not borrowed from paganism. Shout out to Mr. Dukem. May the Lord bless you and may he protect you, bro. Easter is not pagan. Easter is not pagan at all. Actually, Easter is not pagan at all. Not at all. There's nothing about Easter that's pagan at all. I mean, people have added pagan things to it over the years. I mean, eggs and bunnies are definitely not okay, in my opinion. But there's nothing borrowed from Easter. I mean, if you go to any other language other than German and English, they don't even call it Easter. They call it Passover. In Spanish, they call it Passover. In Latin, they call it Passover. In every other language, pretty much, they call it Passover. Because it is Passover, and it goes all the way back to like the Old Testament, right? So, what we call Easter today is this. It's after Passover, on the morning after the Sabbath. All right, that's the morning after the Sabbath, after Passover, which is the day Jesus rose from the dead. This is a biblical holiday. You're supposed to wave that first fruits before the Lord, that first barley harvest. This is a biblical holiday. Has nothing to do with paganism. And when you get to even to this day, when people celebrate the resurrection of Jesus, they call it Passover. They call it Passover, right? Pasqua, Pascha. Like my wife comes from like a German background. They eat Pascha bread on Easter. They eat Passover bread on Easter because they're celebrating Passover. So yeah, it's not pagan. The word Easter just comes from a German tradition. Some people say it has to do with Ashtar or Oster. Regardless, it doesn't matter, because when you go back to the root of it, they're celebrating Passover. So maybe you don't call it Easter, you call it Passover, or maybe you want to call it the day Yeshua rose from the dead, or maybe you want to call it the day that the sheaf of barley is supposed to be weighed before the Lord on the morning after the Sabbath, after Passover. Whatever you want to call it, it comes right from Leviticus. It's as non-pagan as you could possibly get, you know? So that one I don't quite agree with. I don't think Easter is pagan. Have ever done a cycle, or am I natty? Well, we're right now in a cycle, and we are in a cycle, and we're hoping for new all-time highs. All right, I might need some post-cycle therapy after this one, to be honest with you. I might need some post-cycle therapy, especially if we don't get to our all-time high. Dean says, be careful debating the minutia. You might forget what it's all about. Right. Dean makes a good point. Do you know what it's all about, guys? Man is separated from God because of sin. But God, desiring relationship and restoration, he entered into his own creation, born through a virgin woman, and he entered into his own creation as humanity. And as a representative of humanity, he died, and his death paid for the sin that separated man from God. God told Adam, the day you eat of this fruit, you will surely die. Adam ate of the fruit, and that caused a separation between man and God. But Jesus took that death upon himself for us as a representative of us, and then he rose from the dead. So now the way of restoration has been made open for us. So if we now turn to the Lord, we put our faith in him, putting our faith in the fact that because of what Jesus did, we now have that restoration made available to us. God promises to restore us. How does he do this? He causes you to be born again. He'll fill you with his Holy Spirit and cause you to be born again. A new creation. It's something you can't really describe unless it's happened to you, right? Like, I remember when it happened to me. I didn't really want anything to do with God at all. And then all of a sudden, all I care about is God. I'm a new creation. The things I used to do that were contrary to God, that I loved and enjoyed, I didn't want anything to do with that anymore. I wanted to seek the Lord. I wanted to walk in his ways. He causes you to be born again. He causes you to be a new creation. And he promises that you will have eternal life. A restoration of what was broken. That's what it's really all about. All right? All the other minutiae and the details don't really matter. They will work themselves out if you're truly seeking to do what the Lord wants you to do. You know? But thanks, Dean. Appreciate your reminder there. Appreciate your reminder. Did God know they would eat the fruit? Well, I guess that depends on your view. You know? I guess that depends on your view, man. That's an interesting discussion to have as well. Well, we've been live for 3.5 hours, guys, waiting for Bitcoin to hit $116,000. We've been trying. Dave Flowers thinks that Easter and Passover are two different things. I guess, can you show, I mean, I guess, Dave Flowers, I mean, I'm doing my best to show you, like, I'm doing my best to show you, so, that, like, if you go to the actual Bible, right, if you go to the actual Bible, the day that we call Easter, in our Western Christian tradition, the day that we call Easter in the Western Christian tradition is this same day that's in Leviticus 23, which is talking about the appointed feasts of Yahweh. All right, so whatever you want to call it, it's one of the appointed festivals of Yahweh, which is after Passover. Now, when does Passover happen? Passover happens on the full moon on the month of Nisan in the spring. So you got yourself the first month of spring, the full moon, that's always Passover, all right? And so on that day, the first Sunday after that day is one of the Lord's appointed festivals. So I know people call it Easter. Maybe they shouldn't call it that. But the whole Passover ordeal it's the 14th of Nisan, the 14th of Aviv, which is the night the lamb is slaughtered. It's the 15th, the first day of unleavened bread. And then that Sunday, whenever Sunday that is, after Passover, that is the offering of the first fruits. It's all wrapped up into one thing here. And the offering of the first fruits is what today most Christians call it Easter in the West, in English. And in every other language, they call it some form of the Hebrew Pesach. Right? Pesach means Passover in Hebrew. So when you say Pascha and you say Pasqua and Pascha and all this Latin and Spanish and Italian, they're saying Passover. They're transliterating the Hebrew word Pesach. So that's all I'm trying to say. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater with all this Easter being pagan stuff. Now, Easter bunnies, it's pagan, honestly. Let's be honest. Man, what do you guys think? Let me ask the chat. What does the chat think here? What does the chat think? Should we wait? Should we wait? I think we should call it, man. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think we gotta call it. I think we gotta call it, man. What do you guys think? Should we call it? We've been live for 3.5 hours. Oh my goodness. How many steps have I walked? Like 21,000 steps. Sheesh, man. Oh, another hour until Frankie Candle starts. Yeah. Man, what an anticlimactic stream. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.